Hello. Hello. Please let me know how my video and my audio are right now, because my entire setup is different. Though to you it probably looks exactly the same. Let's see. I'm in grammar mode today. So, Saturday, right? I'm not putting too much in. It's also the end of June. And so I've got like this thing with Journey June where I feel a little bit, what's the word? It's like that bittersweet feeling when you finish like a show or a book and you're like, oh, I love that, and now it's over. I'm happy it's over, but I'm not. Like, I'm glad I got to the end of it and learned everything, but at the same time, I'm sad it's over. I don't know. So I feel a little sad about it, honestly, because I think it's so cool. It's good? Awesome, Serenity. Hi, how are you? How have you been? Did you get your package? That sounded so English. Did you get your package? Here, sorry. So I have a whole new desk setup. I'm on a total different side of the room now. My lighting should be a lot more consistent. I'm in a more cozy spot that I'm happy about. What else? Some big news in a minute, but I want to wait a bit. Doing better. That's on Monday. No, only been 1 or 2 weeks. Well, actually, you're right. To be fair, I've been going back and forth with a guy that got a commission from me last August. I sent it to him in March, and he still hasn't gotten it. He's in South Africa, and I'm freaking out, man. Gabe did some research, and apparently a lot of people are having trouble with stuff going to and from customs and it taking forever. So I'm holding my breath for that it's like still gonna get to him and it's not lost, like, but who knows. I really trust the Postal Service, though. I know a lot of people bash it, but those people have a hard job. I'd rather give them the benefit of the doubt, and especially since I've sent close to 400 portraits out, and if this is the only one they screwed up on, that's pretty good odds. I'm just saying. So, I don't know. Like I said, I want to give them credit at least for, what they do. No. Wait, how long ago though, Serenity? Well, here's the thing. We've been going back and forth like crazy looking at stuff. So apparently, it's in Chicago Customs still. It hasn't been returned, and it hasn't been sent to the next place, so it's stuck in U.S. Customs. And you can't just call Customs, apparently, either. I don't know what's up with that. So, we just have to wait. We really just have to wait. And apparently Customs has been backed up, so, we're, like I said, we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's just nerve-wracking sometimes. Isn't that weird? Like, we can call our local post office, but we can't call Customs. You would think Customs should have a whole department that is dedicated to this, but I guess not. I don't. So that's weird. You can't even call the local one? That's messed up. Why can't you call the local one? Do they just not want people calling all the time or bothering them or something? That's crazy. So, I'm gonna do Journey June really quickly, I think. And let's see. Let's see. So for Journey June, what I've been doing is before I even write out that or draw that day's thumbnails, I'll open up like a notepad doc or an email, depending on wherever I am, and just do bullet points 1 to 10, because this is one of those situations where, so Instagram only lets you post 10 pictures in a post at a time, right? They cap it at 10. So that means that I can only kind of fit 10 at a time in there. So that could be seen as a hindrance or a restriction, but at the same time, it's actually, I've kind of turned it on its head and used it as one of those things where it's like, sometimes you get more creative when you have guidelines or restrictions. So I've turned that into kind of a power. So I have bullet points 1 to 10, and I try to figure out that day's prompt within those 10 steps. And of course I figure this out a week before Journey June ends. But I think next year we're going to change some stuff. Because we noticed some things this year that we didn't notice last year that would really make stories stronger for people. And we might even have like a secondary storyline formula you could follow, which I'm just making it more convoluted and a little bit more complicated for people to understand, where right now they have problems sort of with the rules we already have. So I'm taking a chance on this, but I figure it'd be good to have people have options next year. So we've got that. What else? And this 10-step thing, which I think would help a lot of people, especially the people doing comics. It seems like there's a lot of people that were going kind of crazy on the comic end of things. Like they'd have 20 panels a thing, and that's fine, but this would maybe help them focus on the key events for that day. Like they're like keyframes, right? And then after Journey June is over, you can always go back and say, well, between this one and this one, I wanted this to happen, and obviously I didn't have room to post, because they've also been posting entire pages of their panel work and stuff, and you can't tell what's going on. I mean, I guess that's fine because it's for them mainly, but I don't know, I really like seeing people's thumbnails one at a time, but I'm not gonna gate people on that. Like, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. So, anyway, online help desk, that sucks. That sucks! Serenity, no! That's silly. Alright, I mean, it depends. You know, you can go crazy on it if you want to and you've got the time to, but I feel like too many people got a little bit convoluted with what they're trying to do, you know, where they weren't focusing on the main things, so their stories kind of got away from them. But, you know, I mean, not. So, I guess we're 15 minutes in. 6 people. Who's all here? Oh, that's right. Serenity, you didn't do it this year, did you? That's okay. Last year you had a really strong one. Let me know when you get your package, though. I'm very curious about that. Yeah, right? I figured that actually might help people a lot. Because like I said, if it feels like it's got holes in it, afterwards they can fill them, instead of feeling like they have to fill it now, I guess. What the hell? Kids are freaking out outside. Okay, so let's get this done real quick. I do want to show something I've been working on. Where did I put it? I'll be right back. Hold on. Hold up. Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm not used to this chair being this low, but I love it. Exactly. And I want people to finish, and I think a lot of people finish this year for the most part. It seems like a lot are finishing pretty strong, but there were a few that fell off. A couple that I'm really sad about that fell off, actually, because theirs was looking really good. But you know how that goes. So let's see. Yeah, let's do Journey June first. Then I'm going to show you a piece that I've been working on that I'm pretty proud of. And I'll show you another surprise. And then I think I'm actually going to do a tinier kind of version of what I've been working on lately so I can give this away. Or sell it, depending. Let's see. I just refound this sketchbook too, the one that I had done this on. I think this was for Halloween, wasn't it? Serenity, was this for Halloween? I think it was. Anyway, I always skip a page. I always do that. So I'll do something on the 5x7 in a little bit. Yeah, I thought it was. Okay. So, for today's, it's just victorious. It's not a, here, I'll show you. It's not a big thing that's happening here. Yesterday's was a bigger deal. But today's just victorious. So our heroes react to the outcome of the battle. Are they happy, sad, angry? Did anyone die? Oh, I was so close to killing one of my characters. So close. But then I kind of focused on who's it for. I still want to kill him. I don't think I'll kill him right now. But if I decide to kill him later, I don't know. Something can be rated G and still kill off a character. I mean, spoilers, but Princess and the Frog did. Secret of NIMH does. I mean, there's a lot of kids' movies that are, granted they're usually older, that deal with death, but I always respected kids' stuff that dealt with death. So this one, like I said, is going to be a little bit quick, I think. Usually I use up all 10. I think today I'm only going to use up 5. Yesterday, though, was a good one. I had fun with that. That is one of the, more fun things to do. And then tomorrow is going to be the return home for the hero's journey. So, there's that. Kill them for you. I could. I guess. Different audience. But then it's like, it's just such a little thing that I don't think it would change the audience, but it does change the story. So, okay, so I'll just be transparent about this. Serenity, have you been following my story? If you haven't, that's okay. I'm just curious if I start talking about this right now, if it'll make sense. No, you're okay. I'm glad someone's talking. Okay, so I was gonna kill off the bee character, the bee with no wings, right? I was gonna kill him off because I wanted him to be healing one of the other party members instead of himself and dying because of that. And then I wanted all the other bees to kind of have a funeral for him as kind of a, we're sorry you were a hermit and living alone, you should have been with us. But then I have that where they kind of send him off, but then on the other side, there's a part of me that wants him to be reintegrated into the hive, and then he could have a life there again with all them. That one does sound better, doesn't it? If they give him a job inside the hive, regardless of him having wings. Maybe I can actually make him some wings somehow. That feels better. That ending feels better. As much as I want to kill him and have that darkness, I always want to make so many dark stories, but every one of my stories comes out so happy. Except for one. I have one that's really dark, but it's also cool. I don't know. It's a good dark. But this one, I think I do have to have him reintegrated. It would add a nice dark touch, but it's also really satisfying to have him find his place again. Because I do have him heal the Maybell anyway, and he is hurt. but now I'm having him get better. So, that's tough. I think for now I'll just play it safe. Because, I mean, the other thing is you have to make sure a story has balance. So if you throw in this massively dark thing right now, and there's been no other time in the story really when it's even dipped a little bit into darkness, it feels super weird. So the fact that it's all been kind of which has been really kind of boring for me. Last year's was so much more fun than this one, honestly. And I feel like this one is very stereotyped and by the book and very unlike what I like to write as. But I think I have to end it happy. I think I have to. Right? Yeah, you get what I'm saying. So it's like, I mean, I do have the Okay. There are times in the story where I could dip a little bit darker, and then the funeral at the end would be okay. It would maybe change it to young adult, though, because I do have some, like, cultist insects, the moths. If I make them more scary and a little bit darker, and I mean, I guess the queen is draining a bunch of, like, flower gods, technically. So that part's dark, too. So I have 2 dark parts at least. That doesn't feel dark enough. I would have to really dive. So I think right now, just to kind of make it safe, I'll do the happy ending. And then later on, if I revisit it, I'll see if I can make those darker to fit it. You know, for now. So, where we left off yesterday, the queen was getting drenched in this, like, mega epic honey, you know? So flowers have honey in them, nectar, what have you. But the flower gods, the pips, they have tons, right? So she's basically draining them of their essence, life essence, or blood, or whatever. So, because they give her so much more, and why would you not, right? So now, she's been drenched in honey, and the bees bring down the pips. So the bees that were under her spell, they're gonna actually cut loose the pips. I was gonna have the clover pip actually, like, do her clover magic and just release them all, but then I was like, it feels more symbolic to have the bees letting down the pips, seeing as they were the ones that brought them there. It feels more appropriate to have the bees try to justify, or not justify, sorry. The bees try to, like, make things better again with the pips. You know, like, hey man, I'm sorry, that wasn't me. You know, I was under some kind of spell. Please forgive me, that sort of thing. So, true. See, you understand completely, Serene. Good call. Okay, so we'll have maybe the tub that was holding all the honey, and have the bees These bees ended up a lot fatter than I thought they'd be. I actually really love working with characters that have more than 2 arms. I'll be honest, these have been really fun. Like, it's cool because you can have them doing multiple things at once. So with this one, like, this bee is pulling over this pip, and I think it's the dandelion boy. I wanted to make it the dandelion boy. But also, like, he's cutting the string that was holding him. But he's also, like, taking apart the string at the bottom, too. So he's like doing multiple things at once, so it's pretty cool. I like being able to do that because then you don't have to use as many panels trying to express what they're doing. Let's see. And then maybe have the rose one. I think there is a rose one. I kind of want to make the rose one. If I do actually make one for my patrons, I'm going to make the rose a little bit timid. So she'll be poking her like eyes out of the top of the petal. I thought that'd be cute. I feel like these bees are heavily influenced by McDonald's hash browns. Was it McDonald's? I always get this confused. Gabe and I always end up arguing about this. If the McDonald's hash browns are the ones shaped like triangles. I think they are, aren't they? Or is that Arby's? No, that's Arby's! Damn it. Anyway, they're shaped like hash browns from a fast food restaurant. This one I just mucked up his face. The only problem with doing a lot of thumbnails is sometimes you screw up like faces and things and hold on. And then you have to like go back over it or erase it because even the slightest little thing when you're doing thumbnails can, confuse. So you have to make sure your thumbnails sometimes are at least clear for you too. And then I'm going to leave a few of these dangling as if they already cut off the pips and the pips are hanging out somewhere. Maybe they're running around. Something. I had to take care of your birds. How are your birds? Oh, you snoring? Alright. You know what? I don't want to wake her up. Okay, tell you what, I'm going to finish these thumbnails because I'm really excited to let you meet our new dog. But I want to finish these first. Can you hear her? Maybe not. She's not as loud as Bruni. That's for sure. Okay. I'm going to finish these first. Others let them out of baskets. Okay. And then the other spot, the bees are letting pips out of baskets that they brought. Newer pips. See, like this one, he gets to hold the top as well as help the other one out. New doggo is good. She's good. Here. Alright. Damn it, Serenity. Now I gotta show you. How did you sound like you know, or you knew that we were getting a new dog? Did you know we were getting a new dog? How did you know? Okay, I'll just show her to you. Come here. Can I borrow you? I'm sorry, you're so comfortable. Oh, you're still sleeping? Oh, Oh, honey. Okay. So this is Butters. Yeah, this is Butters. She's got bad breath right now. She's actually a pom. And I'll show you a picture of what she usually looks like. She's tired. And they cut her before we got her. This is usually what she looks like with all her hair. And we fell in love with that smile. We rescued her. Isn't she cute? Yeah, she's kind of fat for right now, too. She's a lover. She loves to be cuddled. She had a really, really hard life. She was rescued with 17 other dogs. She's part of like an 18 dog hoarding situation. This woman who was mentally ill was keeping a bunch of dogs in a trailer in, was it like rabbit cages? So not even dog crates, rabbit cages. And she was keeping them in there. Some dogs ended up eating each other because they were like malnourished and everything. So she's had, I think it was 8 tumors removed. She's had, I think it was like 12 teeth taken out. One of her eyes is, I don't know if you can see, but one of her eyes is white. Is this one? She had glaucoma, cataracts, whichever one, but she's blind in one eye. It's cool though, because one of the eyes looks like it's got a full moon in it. So I find it beautiful, and I always wanted a dog with a little bit of a defect. But yeah, she's been through a lot. So when Gabe and I saw her on the website, we had to help her. Hi, honey. You won't wake? You want to go back to sleep? I've never had a small dog before. Oh, she's making all these coos. She's scared to death of thunderstorms too. And I can't even imagine inside a trailer, like, how bad thunderstorms sounded to her. So, the poor thing. Yeah, you tired? So no wonder she's scared. Because the first night we had her, there was a thunderstorm, and she hid under a table, and I tried to coax her out, and she didn't want to come out. So I grabbed her, and she was trembling, right? So I took my sweatshirt and I put her in my sweatshirt, and I held her close and I cuddled her until she stopped shaking. And I don't think she had that before, so she's very sweet. She can do no wrong. Like her bark is hilarious. I think she's 6 to 8 years old. They're not completely sure, but yeah, I know you're not comfortable. I'm sorry. She usually sleeps like completely horizontal on me, but we got her on Wednesday, and she hates it when my hair touches her ears. It's cute. But we felt like the main reason we felt like rescuing a dog or two is that, you know, we're already staying home for Bruni, right? Like we've got Bruni, and someone's always home for Bruni, right? So it's like, well, if we're staying home with Bruni no matter what and we're not traveling, if somebody's always home, we could do some good and get a couple more dogs, and if we get small dogs, they're not much more expensive, you know? You can look at the camera? Hi. Yeah, okay. You want to go back down? That's okay, honey. Good girl. Oh, I put her down and immediately she just fell into her bed. Good girl. She's so sweet. So her name is Butters, and no, it's not because of South Park. We got her with that name, and her fosters had kind of given her that name and loved her with that name, so she's had it already for a while. So we just decided to keep it. And it's a bee name, so Butters and Bruni. And Bruni's our little bakery, so we joke that she was the butter to our roll. So, anyway, she'll be up on Bruni's Instagram probably I wanted to make him a joint Instagram, but then I was like, that might get kind of messy. So maybe Bruni's like the star, and the other two we get. We've capped it at 3. We're not gonna go more than 3. Eliza, I just showed the dog. Oh. Okay, I'll show her one more time. Okay. She needs to sleep. Don't be mad. Oh, Butters, it's okay, honey. Oh. Oh. She looks like a cat from the back. It's really funny. But she does have that one eye. You guys can probably see it right now. But it looks like she has the moon in it. But she is so docile. She's a cuddler. I've always wanted a dog that's a cuddler. But yeah, from the back, doesn't she just kind of look like a cat? Minus the paws. Like, doing pet portraits, I know what cat and dog paws look like, so I can tell it's a dog, but her tail even right now. But yeah, they groomed her too much. So she's supposed to have long hair, but she's just a sweetie. I love her. She's like the closest to a cat you could get with a dog. So we really like that, especially since her bark is so funny. She sounds like actually, she sounds exactly like Mars Attacks aliens. So she's like, it's really funny. It's Papa! Papa's there. You go back to sleep now, I'm sorry. See? There he is. It's Papa! So we're gonna probably try to get one more dog. We're in the process of another one already. We have puppy fever, okay? We want to rescue all the dogs right now. And like I said, since we're not in dire money situations or anything, and we've got, you know, us always home, we have the ideal situation for, like, we're basically fosters or something. We're always home, so. You're satisfied. Good, Eliza. Well, you foretold this whole thing, so just the craziest. You guys, Eliza had a dream that we got a dog, like the day before we went and got our dog, about us. Like, she had a dream about us. I thought that was crazy. But anyway, like I said, she will look like that when her hair grows out, but they had cut her hair way short. She does look like a cat. I know! It's crazy. Is Bruni just sleeping? Gabe? Huh? What? Oh no, she's awake again? However, Bruni's been having a little bit of a hard time adjusting. She wants to play really hard with Butters, and Butters is just... You know, she's not old, but she's been through some shit, right? So she doesn't exactly want to have to deal with, you know, 8-month-old giant Bruni. But we think they'll get better, because already they're starting to kind of, like, become compatible, but it's just taking time. I don't think they'll ever really be best friends, but at least they'll coexist. Okay. Okay. What? Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, I think Bruni just honestly needs to grow up a little. She's still a puppy, so once she grows up a little, she'll probably start understanding more boundaries. We've been really good about, you know, gating them interacting for the beginning, just so Butters can get, you know, you're supposed to do it where they can get accustomed to the surroundings first, and then you introduce the other dog every so often, because first they smell them, then they see them, then they can interact a little bit, and then finally you just integrate them in. So it's a little by little thing. So it's patient, slow going. Like right now, the past couple days, I've been sleeping in the bedroom with Butters, and Gabe's been sleeping in our game room with Bruni. So he's been sleeping on the couch because he's a trooper, and he knows I don't sleep well on the couch, so Gabe's sweet. He's a nice guy. But I think they'll eventually get along. It's just Bruni needs to get over the idea of playing with Butters every 2 seconds. Because she always wants to play. And she's kind of the size of a plaything, so it's like, that's not good. I'm really glad I didn't raise her with stuffed animals, though. Because, you know how some dogs get, like, you can buy them plushies? I never did that because I have a plushie collection, so I don't want her thinking any of my plushies are toys. So we've always given her tennis balls, rubber toys, anything except stuffed toys, right? Plus, stuffed toys, in my opinion, are nasty to give to dogs because then they get slobbery, they get stained, they get smelly, sometimes you can't wash them. Like, it's just gross, right? To me. So it just didn't make sense to me to raise her on that. So I'm thankful for it now because Butters kind of looks like one of those stuffed toys you'd see at Petco, so I'm glad about that. But anyway, you okay? Oh, your eye is so pretty. I bought her a collar that's like butter colored. Like a mustard color. Anyway, I think it's cute. But she's such a sweetheart. She doesn't destroy things. She doesn't, like, she's pretty housebroken. It's like we got a perfect situation. And I'm really happy about it because, like I said, we could basically get, I think, any dog we wanted, except the ones that want to be with kids or don't want any dogs. Those are the only situations we can't. But the fact we're home all the time and that we don't crate the dogs, you know, anything like that, I think really gets us points. So but this other dog we're trying to get is a cutie too. So, and Gabe has always wanted Poms, which I thought was hilarious. I never knew he wanted a Pom, and I learned this and I was like, oh my god, Gabe, that's hilarious. Because I mean, imagine Gabe with a, you know, tiny little Pomeranian. It's cute. They just sound so funny when they bark too. So chilly. Well, I'll be completely honest, we haven't been bringing in as much money this year because I haven't been going to as many conventions, but what it's done for my health has been amazing. So we're trying to save dogs. We're not making a ton of money, but we're comfortable for now, and I don't need a second job yet. I might at some point. If we do, I'll get one. But hopefully I can still make freelance work for as long as I can. Because I love it and it's fun. It's the freedom I always wanted. It's just you have to make it work, so I should be okay though. Gabe's good at bringing in money, and then, like I said, I've been trying to wean off the pet portraits a bit, but then I do have a convention in August. Gabe has he has a Zine Fest, I think, in August, and then he has New York Comic Con. He'll be at New York Comic Con, so. Oh, Bruni. Gabe's watching Bruni right now. I'm watching Butters. Because Butters is just sleeping, because she's a sweetheart. You're a good girl. Yeah. It's crazy, too. So one of her eyes is blind, so she's got that pretty, you know, white to it. And then the other one, she must have gotten scratched or something at some point because part of her face has a scar. And then that scar goes into her eye, and part of her eye, if she's looking one way, you can see it looks like the color in her eye just bled into her white. It's really crazy looking. Hi, Kitchen! Where you been? We miss you too! Aww, Kitchen! Oh my goodness. How have you been? I'm sorry I haven't even seen many of your posts or anything. I've honestly been, other than Journey June, I've been kind of avoiding social media too. It's been awesome. You guys. feel like the Pips are really technically flower children. Like, they're cute, they're innocent, they're spunky. I mean, they might be flower gods, but I love that they're, you know, childlike. Which I would think they would be, you know? If you had little flowers that were animate. So these are the bees right now saving all the Pips that are in there. So I'm trying to show that the Pips are running around happy, like here. Some are coming out of the baskets, others are being brought out. Just so you can tell they're taking them out. Because if I didn't have this one here, it might not look like they're taking them out, but you know, now they do. Oh, Liza. No problem. Thanks for coming. Thanks for your premonition. We do! Yes, Kitchen. Here, she's actually sleeping right now. So I'm going to... I showed her a little bit earlier, so if you want to see what she looks like, you can replay the video later, but here's a picture of what she looks like when her hair is long. Like, this was the picture that sold us on her, because she's got a really jacked up eye on this one. It's blind. And then she's just so sweet looking, like she looks so happy. Despite everything that happened to her, like I said, she's, aside from being like physically abused, I think her situation was one of the worst I've ever heard. So I'm happy that we got to help with that, you know? And I'm gonna vent for a minute, I guess. I agree with the adopt, don't shop to an extent. I hate that I get reprimanded for having like a bulldog. Because everybody that sees a bulldog thinks that you didn't rescue it, A. And B, they think you got it from a puppy mill and that you don't know what you're doing. So the mere fact I own a bulldog has huge stigma to it. And that people believe that bulldogs existing is just evil. Okay? I think adopting is great and awesome if you can do it. But if you have kind of a dream dog too, and you want that breed and you can't find it in a rescue, I think getting it from a breeder that's a good breeder and not a puppy mill, make sure you get it from a reputable breeder. Okay? Do your research. Do your freaking research. It makes a huge difference. But I think if you go by natural good means that are logical and fair, and you've got someone who's really good, I think that's fine too. I hate the stigma that comes with getting a dog from a breeder. I really do. Yeah, I'm hoping she'll eventually be friends with her. Right now we're doing the separation and slow integration, and Bruni just wants to play so hard, and poor Butters has been through hell, so we're trying to make it not stressful for her, and Bruni just comes on way too strong. So it'll take a little bit, plus Bruni's still a baby, technically. She's 8 months old, but she's like 50 pounds, so she's like this giant momentum machine that can't stop. So once she, I think, grows up a little bit, she'll mellow out, but for right now, ugh. Yeah, her name is Butters. Not related to South Park at all. She's just butter-colored. She's a sweetheart. I love her. She's wonderful. We're in love with her. Yep, you get it. Like, Gabe he sold me on her too when he was like, she's the butter for our roll. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, we need to get her. And what sucked is, so when we applied for her, there were 2 instances where we fell through and were denied. And it was only because, and I had talked to the main person that we got Butters from, that this lady that I was originally corresponding with was a bitch, okay? She was crazy bad. And I asked her, I'm like, have you lost adoptions because of this woman? And she's like, yep. And I was like, why does she stick around? She's like, she's been there forever. She's not even in the state. So it's like, you know, she does her job, but she's just a bitch. So I actually went on Facebook, and instead of, you know, because I was emailing this lady back and forth, and she had denied me, and she was completely unprofessional. The most hostile person immediately out of the gate I have ever talked with in my life. And I was like, ugh. So I went on Facebook and I talked to someone on their Facebook page, which ended up being the lady that actually adopted Butters out to us. And I was like, is there someone else I can talk to? This lady I've been talking to is heinous. She is awful. She's unprofessional. She's like Rageosaurus, right? So can I talk to someone else? And she ended up being that same person that I ended up talking to and adopting from. So it's been wonderful. And the process was that we went to Petco to meet with the person that was adopting out Butters and the foster family that had been taking care of her for 3 months while she got all her surgeries, because she had almost $1,000 worth of surgery done to her because she had so many tumors, dental work done. It was very sad. Oh, that's right, Kitchen, you came in late too. So Butters was in a hoarding situation with 17 other dogs, and they were all kept in like rabbit cages in a trailer, like alone, because this woman that was hoarding them was mentally ill. She'd be getting dogs from Craigslist and just putting them in these cages without food, water, whatever. A couple dogs ended up eating each other. So Butters has seen that. I can't imagine that it was very comfortable in the trailer, and it must have been loud too when there are thunderstorms and rain. So when there are thunderstorms, she extra freaks out. She whimpers and stuff. It's so cute, but so sad. So I always have my sweatshirt, and I put her in there, and I hold her until she stops, and just the whole time it's storming, I just hold her. So I feel very blessed that I'm in this situation where I finally feel like I'm using my freelance life for a good purpose. Instead of just having freedom, I'm using that freedom to take care of some more animals that it hits me in a spot. So we do plan on getting another rescue too. We have our eye on this one boy, which I've never had a boy dog before. And he is just, he looks like a little sweetheart, and he sounds perfect. I actually talked to the lady fostering him today on the phone, and we can go meet him this Saturday, I think. Not this one, but the next one. And he sounds like a perfect dog. Honestly, he's laid back too, kind of like she is. So I think they get along. They're both Poms. He looks like a cute little bear. So I'm excited about that because he really looks like a teddy bear. It's crazy. But his previous owners had to get rid of him because they had toddlers or something. And the toddlers like abused the crap out of the poor thing. Like they'd pull his hair and stuff, so he can't be with any children. Hello, perfect situation. Me and Gabe don't want kids, we just want dogs. So, like I said, I don't see how we can't get this. So, I always wanted a little boy dog too. I think it's just, I never had given it too much thought. I always like having a female bulldog too, just because people always think bulldogs are boys. So when you meet a lady bulldog, they always call it a boy, but when they find out it's a lady, they're like, oh. But I just think the imagery of what a bulldog is, but being a lady, is fun. I don't know. They don't. And especially for small dogs, you're not actually supposed to have small dogs around kids at all. Like Chihuahuas, Poms, Terriers, anything like basically smaller than a lab, I think. Yeah, you're not supposed to have them around kids because kids don't understand. It's the same thing why you don't. This drives me crazy. I don't know where this started, but people giving hamsters to children drives me insane. Insane. They are not for kids. You guys, kids drop hamsters all the time. They let the balls go down the stairs and things. Like, I've seen it. It's awful. Kids are the worst pet parents for hamsters. stop it. You know, oh my god, it drives me crazy. But yeah, so he must have had his hair pulled, so he doesn't like kids at all, which, like I said, so we got that in common. But he just looks like a little, here, we'll see if I can find you a picture. But like I said, because we're in the situation we're in, we can, like I said, I think we can basically get any dog we want, minus a couple situations. But yeah, he looks just like a little handsome man, little happy handsome man. And Gabe is psyched about him too. Like, he thinks he's like, the main reason I wanted a Pom was so I could get this little bear. I'm like, here's your bear. The boogeyman is good. Little Mr. Kukui. He's well. We have to take him out of Gabe's, since Gabe's sleeping in the game room every night with Bruni, we had to take Cuckoo out because at night Cuckoo's too loud. His wheel, he's like, he's a thunder ham. He's such a thunder ham, so he's always da-dun-da-dun-da-dun-da-dun-da-dun. And Gabe doesn't wear earplugs like I do, so we need to put him in the kitchen at night. It's kind of funny. The cat, yeah, been a good run. Yeah, that's the weird thing too. Cats, as weird and touchy as cats are, when it comes to kids, cats do seem to just take it. Unless sometimes they do snap. I think that I do know of 2 cats that just lose it if they get touched wrong, but anyway. So we're on this crusade right now for pups. And then I think once we get the pups, we'll be good. Doesn't he look like a little bear? Oh my god. Oh my god. I think he's part Chihuahua too, I think they were saying. But yeah, right now the foster, she was like, I'd keep him if I didn't have 6 other dogs. I was like, 6? Oh my god. And she works too, so she crates all 6 of them. I'm like, oh, I wouldn't do that. Jeff Weber, hello! How you been, man? Yeah, so we'd have 2 little fluffs, and I think it'd be smart to have Butters with Charlie, because he's Charlie now, but I want to make him a bee name if I can, so we can have 3 bees. But I don't want to name him Bear. I want to name him something more unique than that. But I feel like if Butters had another dog her size to kind of go up against Bruni, it'd be, you know, she'd have some strength that way. So, you know, there's that. Okay. What's the other one? Just got to your parents? Is that good? What does just got to your parents mean? Do you not have a computer at your place, Jeff? You gotta use your parents? Oh my god. Thumb's driving me crazy. Sweet, sweet little Butters. I love that this one Maybell is really mean most of the time and just kind of disconnected, but when it comes to his little buddy and she's hurting, he's all about it. Let's see. I'm so happy with this new desk situation though. I mean, I'll be honest. My previous desk situation was awesome looking. Like, it looked like it was completely just cool. There's a huge drafting table. I had a giant drafting chair. Everything was high up off the ground. I had this table behind it that was cool. Gabe has it now, but I realized I don't like that. Like, I don't like my legs dangling off the ground, and I had something to put them on, but it felt weird, and I got pains a lot, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to find a desk that was similar to the one I had when I was the most productive and most happy sitting at a desk. So I did, and already this lighting is a lot better too, and it's so much more cozy. It's one of these corner desks that has like a hutch connected to it. So I've got shelving too on either side of me in this little cove for my computer. So it's really nice, and it is cozy, and it's really warm because the light bounces off the desk, and it's a lot better than my white and black drafting table, which was very cold. Yeah, it was huge, but I like these shelves around me, like I'm in this little cubby, where that, I did not have that, so. Both kitchen. I'm actually, I technically switched places in the house with Gabe, so now I'm in the corner and he's over there. Actually, I wonder if I can even show you. Give me a second. Don't look at the screen, it'll make you disoriented. Yeah, maybe you can see this. Yeah, there you go. So that's my old setup. See that giant ass table and where I'm doing this backwards. His monitor is there, and that's where mine was, and it's on another table that's there that you can't see. And then this table is like 3 feet by 4 feet, and it's like 4 feet off the ground, maybe? It's really tall. Oh, also, here's Butters. Maybe I can show Butters. Here's my little baby. She's sleeping. Little precious babe. So, another thing is that Bruni's been a little bit, not possessive, but I think she's a little bit jealous that Butters has gotten into a few of her things, which I want her to get used to, and I think she'll understand once she and Butters start getting along better, but anyway. Oh, a first shift position at work? Is that good? Because you were working overnight, right, Jeff? Like, really overnight, late? So does this mean you're going to have a regular, like, normal daytime schedule then, or a productive chaos? That's what it is, honestly. Except all the stuff you saw on the side, on the right side, that's just all the stuff that was on my desk that I need to clean off so Gabe could move in. So I still need to find a place. I technically downsized, but sometimes when you lose, you win. So, I don't know. I like it a lot more. I'm a lot more cozy here and comfortable. And it reminds me of the times that I was the most productive, which was probably 6 years ago? 6 or 7 years ago at this point. But yeah, when I was married in Minnesota, which I never saw my husband, which was funny, but I had my own studio, and I had this type of desk in that studio, and I loved it. Granted, I'm not near the window anymore, but Gabe likes natural light a lot more, where I like warm light a lot more. Plus, that window doesn't open. So if I want to go near a window, I have like 4 other places in the house I can go. I don't necessarily need this one to have a window. So it's nice. It works out. Fill up my desk cubbies. It's gonna be hard not to fill it with like aesthetic crap. I want to fill it with actual supplies. But you know how decorating goes when you're an artist. 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. for sure. Oh, Jeff, that would probably be so much better. For your circadian rhythm, oh my god. I knew people that changed from third shift to first, and like they were super unhealthy. They were sad all the time, all that kind of stuff, because their body wasn't used to it. Even after doing it for years, they were like forcing themselves to do it. and then they switch to a first shift, like you're doing, and they complete 180. Like, they ended up feeling better. They lost a ton of weight too, just from having a different sleep schedule. It was really weird. Oh no, Serenity. I know how that feels. I feel like I was really misusing the space that I had at that desk. It was a huge desk, but... And I know Gabe's gonna misuse it too, but it's one of those things. It's like if you have less to clean, it's easier, right? So when you have more space, there's more to screw up sometimes. Oh, 8 p.m. to 8 a.m.? Ugh, I couldn't do that. My earliest job was 7 a.m. when I was doing a breakfast for old folks at a nursing home, which I loved that job. I really did. It was technically food service and for old people, but I loved it. I loved the elderly, and it was really fun. I felt like a chef without having to be a chef. I don't know. And they were always so fun. And of course, the mean ones, they've got reason to be mean, so the best thing you can do is listen. You know? I think it'll be great for you, Jeff. I mean, just in general, I think it'll make you feel like just hopeful. You know, getting up earlier in the morning like that instead of going at night. Something about night things just, I don't know, I think it actually ends up killing people, honestly. Hey, Spongy. Right? So Serenity, that desk, it's funny because, I don't know if you can even see this. So that desk, the computer, since we have Macs, our computer is the monitor, is on this, first of all, we put it on a shoe rack. Get this. So, you know how Target has those little white shoe racks you can put your shoes on? Works great for holding a monitor and stuffing all the wires into one of these cubbies so you don't see it. So we'd actually stuff all the computer like wires and stuff in here, and then we put our Cintiqs and stuff in here. And so the rest of the desk, which would be like, fuck, this big, it's huge, right? And I had put on this extension over here that's for pens and junk, and then there's an under thing too. But like, it's a huge drafting table. So technically the computer is still all contained off the desk. So I would have my markers, I would have my pastels, I'd have all my pens and like pencils up here, and I was able to do everything all at once, and it was really nice. But that happened very rarely, so I was misusing it because I have another table that I was using over here that I would put these things on, and this got cluttered and this got cluttered, and I'd have my camera here and the light here for Twitch, and it just got out of control. So, and like I said, the main thing was I didn't feel good sitting there because it was too high for me. Gabe has longer legs. It works better for him because of that reason. It just makes more sense. Oh, a night owl. It is weird though. I'm a night owl too, but when I had, so like way back when Gabe and I first started dating, we'd stay up till like 3 or 4 a.m. and we'd get up at noon. And I ended up hating that. At first it was exciting, and I was like, I am a night owl, and I still am, but not that late. Like, I think the most I could stay up till 2 now is 1 or 2, but 3 and 4, you feel like you're just destroying the next day, or at least I did. So it didn't actually work out as well for me. Okay, so now she needs to help the bee while he heals. So right now, yeah, they're victorious, but they're also cleaning up the mess that this queen bee made. How have you guys been? How's your summer? Kind of upset it has been as warm as it is. Like, it's too warm. Like, it's almost 100 every day lately in Chicago. Chicagoland, I'll say. Yeah, way too hot. Ugh. Good Lord. Oh, Serenity. But yeah, it's been too hot, like, and I can't even really take Bruni out because Bruni, like, being a bulldog, gets way too warm way too easily, so I'll maybe take her out for 5 minutes max, just to play. Like, she has to go out, obviously, to potty, but for just playtime, like, we'd usually, if it was maybe 70s, early 80s, I'd, like, you know, have a puppy pool time. I'd put up her umbrella, have her bed out. But seeing as we can't even be outside because it's literally dangerous, it sucks. Yeah, it sucks because you can't, it's too hot to do anything then. It's not even like hot for fun hot, which that's pulling an arm and a leg to get me to do anyway. Yeah, right, Jeff? It was like this week that just started getting crazy and it's like way too hot. And it's been, yes, and I was just gonna say, it's been really humid too. It's been like 50 to 80 humidity, and every day, like, usually the weather has been really good in terms of meteorologists being able to tell if it's gonna storm, but seeing as it's so crazy hot and unpredictable, it's been like they'll say it doesn't rain and then it rains like for 2 hours and there's a storm. Like, they can't predict that well when it's this bad out, you know. Anyway, almost done. I'm only doing 5 of these, so let's do that. I'll have these other hash brown bees. I'm gonna call them hash brown bees because really they're the shape of those Arby's hash browns, the triangles, which are delicious. It's so bad for you, but I don't care. They're delicious. They're just milling around, doing things. Southeastern weather. Oh, cute. Serenity, you should draw like a chibi version of you misting your birds and I'm like, ah, ah. I think that'd be really cute. I would love that. I keep forgetting to draw these bees with wings because these bees have wings. This bee does not have wings. So I have to make sure. This is one of those continuity things that I wanted people who hadn't done a story before to get used to. But here I am forgetting it myself. But, you know, it is really important to think about at least continuity with stuff as much as you can. The other one hates it. Oh. What about if you dipped your finger in water, in cold water, and just rubbed it on them like you're petting them? Maybe that way you can still get them cooler, but without the aggression of the spray bottle. Oh, Yate's getting pet too? Oh no. Oh, poor baby. It's funny when Bruni gets too hot, and I've put, I usually put a bunch of ice cubes in her water, so at least it starts getting fresh water throughout the day and it's still always cold. Once in a while, if she gets too hot, she just goes over to it and plants her face down into it. It's so cute. Oh! So Bruni's got 2 cooling pads too, and Spongy, maybe your cat would like one of these. If you just search pet cooling pad on Amazon, there are these cooling gel pads similar to the cooling gel we get and stuff, but they have them that are just giant pads for pets, and Bruni loves hers. Like, I usually put one up next to a vent so that she gets the AC, because she always puts her face on the vent to get the AC, and then the rest of her body, which doesn't fit on the vent, gets the cooling pad. She loves it. Yeah, they're really good, especially if your cat overheats a lot. I bet, here, I'll actually find you the pad we use, because this is actually the 4th one I've bought. I bought 2 for Tilly, my first bulldog, and then for Bruni, I bought them, and they're still really good. And they have multiple sizes too. I don't know if they have them as small for a cat, but it's worth trying. Yeah, Brav Pet. Make sure to put pet, or else you get things for computers. Weird, so the one I get isn't on there anymore. But if you just search cooling pad, you'll find a bunch of them. Yeah, that sucks. The ones I usually get aren't there anymore. Huh. Whatever. You can probably find cat-specific ones too, I'm guessing. Oh god, Spongy. No, that's awful. I think there's something you can do for that. Like if it's... Can you put like ice in a bowl or something and put it next to a fan and make that kind of an air conditioner? Or maybe like an ice pack? Something? Like for one of those lunch things? Ice packs? Oh. Yeah, there's a whole thing with don't give a dog an ice cube to swallow when they're too hot, because they can go into shock. So make sure you've cooled them down a little bit first and then give them ice cubes, because if they're too hot, if their tongue is like beet red and they're like hyperventilating and their skin's hot, yeah, you gotta cool them down a bit first. Yes, okay. Hey man, I do my research, right? I got the bulldog, so I need to know. But yeah, otherwise the shock thing, because their stomachs and stuff are too hot, it's too much of a jolt to their system. They can't do anything about that. Queen Bee, death by honey. Oh no. I gave her a big butt too. She's totes dead. Kind of wondering if I should even have this shot of them kind of surrounding her while she's drowned in honey. You know what? Maybe that's too dark. Is it? I don't know. Yeah, that's too dark. I can't do that. It's too dark. Instead, let's have everybody going for the door. How about that? That's good. Don't have to go home, but you can stay here. Unless that's more the Nah. This works. I always feel sad when I end a story. Like, I'm happy I did it, but I'm always sad. I feel like it's ended, you know? Like, every time something ends, it's bittersweet. Like, I know good things are coming still, and blah blah blah, and every ending is a beginning, blah blah blah, but at the same time, you know, like shows. I do like relating writing a story to ending a book or a TV series, because I feel like a lot of people know that feeling. Like, you're sad about it, but at the same time, you know, you're happy you had that experience, right? Oh, really, Serenity? You could always ask Gabe for help on the type of whatever, like, perspective you want. He can probably teach you how to do it. He'd be happy to, honestly. You know Gabe. He's an open book. What is a swamp cooler? You guys tell me what a swamp cooler is. Oh, a car. Cars are rough. So Serenity, what I would have done, if you need a very specific angle or something, is, God, I love my lamp, but it does this creeping thing where over time it, like, changes where it is. What was I gonna say? Oh, Google SketchUp. Google SketchUp is free and has a ton of models in it, so you could pull in a car, rotate the camera to be, you know, what you're kind of looking for, and use it that way. How you doing, Butters? You being a good girl? Yeah. Sweetheart. She's a good girl. Yeah, you're welcome. I've done that in the past for buildings and stuff if I have them overlap a certain way or whatever. Yeah, Google SketchUp is really nice for that. It takes a while to like get it and set it up, but once you've got it, it's fine. And it works in a lot of instances, and it only kind of sucks if you want like a pushed perspective that doesn't really exist, or like a 3-point perspective, because that can get, because those aren't really real. So you'd have to do it in 2-point and then take it into Photoshop and then pull it another way to get it into that 3-point. But if you're just doing 2 or something and you just can't figure it out, you should be able to do it in that. I could have used this shot for the return home, which is tomorrow, but I'm thinking that's gonna be a lot more like story-based. I'm kind of a fan of those stories that are like, and afterwards they went and they did this, and because of this blah blah blah, this journey, they were able to do this now. So like last year I felt like that story tied up really well. This one, I haven't been crazy about this one this year. Like, it's been a fun ride. It's been another notch in my belt sort of thing, but I don't know. This is the one I'm excited about lately. You guys probably saw my other piece with the mouse saving the strawberry. Well, this one, I'm gonna make a print of this one. I named this one Meet at the Wheat. So like they have this little romantic like get together in the wheat. So Meet at the Wheat. and I like it. And I'm probably going to do it similar to this one, just not as messy as this one. This one was honestly a super quick thing. I wanted to test this paper, which not so great. I'm gonna have to flatten it. I did tape it down too, and it still came out like this. So I bought some other paper that's actually meant for more mixed media. This is technically for dry media, but I'm stubborn and I think I can make things work. It would've. It was alright, but I technically know what I did wrong. So I might remedy that on this one so I don't screw this one up. But I think right now I'm going to do one in this similar style, but that's small. So, and then I'll figure out if I want to use that as one of my giveaway images from that giveaway I had from a while ago. I still have to send them out. I haven't gotten around to doing their commissions yet. Y'all know me and commissions and how many I've usually got, so we're gonna do a little one here. So I gotta think of a cute situation with a little mouse. Yeah, swamp cooler. What is a swamp cooler? Oh, what? Hell yeah! What? This is awesome! I don't know what a vernier is. Or vernier? What is that word, you guys? Vernier? Vernier? So cut a hole. Cool, that looks cool. I mean, this is intense. Somebody was really smart. So I wonder though, instead of the water and ice, if you could just use ice packs so they don't get wet and doesn't, because like ice packs I feel like last a lot longer than water and ice, because I feel like that water and ice would be gone in no time. That's awesome though. Oh my god. Instructables, you're so good to people. I want to know what the best thing that's happened to you guys this summer is. What is the best thing that's happened this summer? Granted, we're only, I guess, halfway through, but oh, is the evaporation. I see. I see. What about if you could get your hands on some dry ice? Would that work? This camera. Oh my goodness. Oh, the medieval market. How was that, Serenity? Did you take pictures of that? Yay! Let's hear it, Kitchen. I want to hear it. Sorry if this is loud. Or maybe it's ASMR stuff, I don't know. To sound cool. Yeah. Where's my new pencil? Oh god. I don't know where anything is. Oh, did you? Dang it. I think I missed them. Did you add them to a highlight so you could like show people later? Hold on. I need to find this pencil I got. There we go. Good girl, Butters. Good girl. You just hang out. She is so good. Oh, this moved again. I don't know how to fix that. Why do you move? Maybe this will stop it. Something cool. Oh, bye, Jeff. Thanks for coming. Good luck with your new stuff. I look forward to hearing how it's improved your life. I hope it's great. Ah, Serenity. That's okay. I'm sorry I didn't see him initially. Like I said, I've been trying to pull away from social media, but when I can. This cat holds my post-it notes. I'm not a big cat person, but it was the cutest one they had. I love post-it notes. They're kind of like crack to me. I had this shit sorted out with my boss not paying me after my job. Ugh. I'm gonna start doing some sewing, then I'll start taking a project. Hey, kitchen! That's awesome! Isn't that cool how that stuff happens? You might have just made your new business. That's great. Is it fun? Do you mind doing it? Because I hope you are okay doing it. Because if you're not, I don't want you to get stuck doing something you don't. Okay, good, good. You love it. That's fantastic. I am so happy for you. Is that why you've been busy and gone? Because that's a good reason. Also, if anybody is into this sort of thing, like I am, here's a regular stapler, right? Staple. Yeah? Regular stapler. There are these things, and not a lot of people have seen these, so I think I always like showing people because they seem to be like, what? That's awesome! This is a staple-free stapler. That's very dirty. But you take your paper you want to staple together and you put it in there and you pull on this fun little trigger and then you pull it off and it actually like staples it together. So it's pretty cool. As long as you don't mind your document or whatever having a hole in it. A lot of people use it for receipts. Sticking receipts together. I use it on taxes a lot, actually. That way you're not using a ton of, money for staples. So, I think if you just Google stapleless stapler, you can find it. That's a good reason, Kitchen. I am happy and proud of you. Good job chasing a good thing. A lot of people usually get too scared to do that, so I commend you for actually following your gut on it. Oh, really, Serenity? Okay, let me see. How long ago was it? Damn right I do, Kitchen. Show me. Someone I did a pet portrait for, their pup passed away. So that's sad. And they usually post the portrait with it and tag me, so it's hurtful. Serenity. There you go. Medieval market. Oh, I did see these. I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was a market. I thought like merchandise. Yes, I remember you posting these. That looked really awesome. Was that just in the middle of your town one weekend or something? Ugh, I love what that one girl's wearing. This one, I love what she's wearing so much. Oh my god. I actually gotta take a screenshot of that. Fucking love it. I bet she did it herself, too. Yeah, that looks hella fun. Like, it looks like Final Fantasy or some shit. That's awesome. I'm super jelly. We have Ren fairs, but... you know, they're kind of the same thing regardless of where you go. Okay. Let's see. I gotta think of a cute idea. Oh, got one. Yeah! It was 2 weeks long, Serenity? That's crazy. Dr. Squishy Beans! What? I didn't know you made fursuits. That's crazy. Those make crazy good money. So I've been actually thinking of starting to go to a furry con or two, just because apparently the people there just drop money. Like, because the fursuits and stuff, like, they have money, which is so weird because, like, I had no idea that... I thought it was gonna be like an anime con. And everybody there would be like under 20, maybe have like $30, whatever. No, I couldn't have been more wrong, apparently. Like, that's crazy. Oh my god, these paws are so cute! Goodness. Kitchen, these are great! Oh my god. Also, do you have a tattoo or something on this arm? Or does someone who's... is it in white ink or something? That looks crazy. Those look really warm, but this looks just so well made. Kitchen, I'm so proud of you. Oh my god, they're so cute. Kitchen made these.
Wow.
You right?
Kitchen, you're a Renaissance woman.
You're multi-skilled. This is so good. Do they have like a tattoo or something going on there? Like, it looks cool. It's kind of hidden. I dig it. What are you doing? How you doing? How's the dog? Huh?
Working on stuff.
Cool. Oh, a dark mark. Oh. Kitchen said hi. Here's a hi. The first attempt at it? Oh my god. Serenity, that was only 2 weeks ago? I feel like I saw that over 2 months ago. Has June just been the longest month ever and no one told me? Oh my god. I didn't know you made mascots? That's crazy. Kitchen, you have so many skills. That's fantastic, because then you have so many options, right? Okay, guys, be honest. Is my wheat mouse obsession kind of weird, or is it fun? Because, I mean, I'll do it regardless. I think it's cool. But, I'm just curious what other people think. If they're like, okay. It's just wheat. Chill out. Dude, now if I see wheat, though, like, out and about, I freak out. It's just so cool. It'd be really funny if I had a gluten intolerance, but I don't know. Yeah, that's not turned enough. Oh, Serenity. You're always sick. I hate that. Also, just like that little stapler, I have this little desk dustbuster. I'm gonna mute the thing, but I'm gonna show you something. I have a desk dustbuster. It's ridiculous. It was only like $13 and it's USB. And it's great because if I just kind of swished away the pieces with this desk, since there are so many little nooks and crannies, that stuff just accumulates. So the fact I can have that for this desk, I'm so happy. You don't understand. Yeah, our fairs are just, I feel like everybody's like, now that I'm in Illinois, they're like, have you been to the Bristol Ren Fair? And I'm like, no, but I've been to Ren Fairs, and I feel like all the Ren Fairs are basically the same. Like, they have a few structures that are permanent, and then everything else is basically the same. And now that I've been vegetarian for a while, like, I can't even go to those anymore. They're not, like, you know, you go for the food and stuff, and the giant turkey legs and things, and as delicious as those were, I can't enjoy those anymore. So, like, that's part of the reason not to go. And usually it's really hot out. I dress like an elf all the time, so I feel like I don't even really go to Ren Fairs anymore. Because, like, I feel like I almost live a Ren Fair. I don't know. Oh, Spain. How was Spain, Kitchen? Was that cool? You know what? Instead of being on his back, I think he's gonna be like just snoozing, maybe. No, because that's gonna look like he's humping the wheat. How do I do this? And I'll have to dust bust the desk later, but I don't want to keep having to do that on the thingy. I do have to sharpen this pencil though. Hold on. Yeah, Spain seems like it'd be really cool. Honestly, I watched, out of curiosity, I'd never seen it before. I watched Eat, Pray, Love the other day. Because I usually enjoy Julia Roberts. And, I don't know. I watched it. I honestly thought it was going to be a lot more art house bullshit, which I would have liked. Honestly, I thought it was going to be a lot deeper than it was, but it really just felt like a rich girls watch it to get away sort of thing. Up until Javier Bardem comes into the picture, which is like, you gotta wait like an hour and a half, and then he comes into the movie. And his character's great. I loved his character. And he's honestly the only reason to watch that movie. And the little Bali man, witch doctor. He was cool. He was really cool. I loved his 2 teeth. But anyway, other than that, that's it. What is, they tip wheat over a lot so they're sleeping on a wheat log, you know? What is you tip... What if you tip the wheat over a lot so they're sleeping? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, it's going like this, but I don't want it to be completely horizontal because then it feels weird. So I want it to be a little bit, but it's like I have to show enough of it to know... I don't know, it's weird because at a certain angle it looks really uncomfortable. So it's like I have to have a certain, like, incline where it looks like it could be comfortable. It's, I don't know. Yeah, not totally, because then it feels unreal. You want to think his weight brought it enough, but not all the way. I wish we could, Serenity. I'm scared to death about going through customs with merch. I have heard so many nightmare stories. And like whenever Tim and Key go to Europe with their stuff, oh my god. Like they tell me about it being just nerve-wracking and everything like that. So because they ask you, you know, is this merchandise? Because you need a work visa for that sort of thing. And if you don't have one and they catch you selling stuff, like you can get into apparently a lot of trouble. So, I get scared for that. No, kitchen, it's fine. So do you have a lot of orders then lined up for your furry costumes or anything? Or, because that's awesome. I hope you make a ton of money doing that. I think originally I was shying away from furry cons and stuff because the interactions I had had with the people that are into that culture were very negative. And I had about 3 of them that were very negative. But I keep trying to give them chances, I guess. So, I don't know, maybe again. Oh, sets of paws. Are you gonna branch out and do the other parts too? Like heads or body suits or anything like that? Like full body suits? I mean, I'm very much about not blanketing an entire group ever, regardless of who or what they are, so I really try to stay away from that. So I mean, you know, I hate that it was kind of going that way with all my interactions. I was like, you know, who can I at least get a couple that aren't so, you know, whatever? So I was waiting on that, but I'm guessing, you know, of course they're out there. It's just, I just didn't want any more bad interactions like that, because they were bad. Like, enough to scare me away from those sorts of things. Oh, that's good, Kitchen. I'm glad to hear that. I hate to say it's probably coming at some point, but that's good. That's good. Yeah, I think that's maybe where I failed. 'Cause now I make sure to say, you know, no, not safe for work and no fan art and stuff when I take on commissions. But this one girl, and I think I've told you this before maybe, but she, first of all, had said it was for someone else, but the way she reacted later told me it was for her. And she made me come down a lot on the price, but I made sure I would be, you know, giving her the same kind of amount of quality and work and whatever for what she had. And she gave me this reference folder that had a bunch of reference in it, right? And she didn't tell me what not to really do, so I looked at her references. There were a couple pictures of the character smoking, a couple where he had a cane, he had like a tie in one of them, so I was like, oh, this could be cute, you know, so I did him with a cigarette, a tie, and his cane, right? If they're in the reference folder, they're fair game, I thought. She didn't say not to, so I did him, and she blew up at me for putting him in clothes. It's a tie! I didn't know that was considered close to her, so she wasn't specific enough. Also, in her reference folder were a bunch of inappropriate pictures, art of him with a very underage boy in inappropriate things. And it's like, you can't just send that to someone. You need to tell them things, especially if the character looks like they're being raped. You should probably let people know, hey, this has like trigger stuff in it. Or better yet, don't send it at all. Okay? Make sure you have a professional folder. So this girl was like, I'm guessing under 20. She was very unprofessional. She didn't know what she's doing. She's very hostile. But it was one of my first interactions with the furry community, and it was not good. But like I said, I'm not blanketing at all. That was one interaction. I'm guessing it's not far off from an anime con, though. Just with older people with more money, I'm guessing. Yeah, it sucked. It was bad. I definitely did not get paid for my trouble. Okay, so the reason this would have looked weird is if I kept his legs going and just laying flat. But I think if I put a leg up, it might work better. And it's weird because a lot of my stuff breaches into furry community. I don't consider it furry because, you know, furry stuff has more like anthro eyes and anime influence to it. And my stuff definitely doesn't. It's very much more kids' book, Beatrix Potter. So I never really considered that to be anthro territory. But I think anthro people still enjoy it, which is totally cool. That's fine. I like people who enjoy whatever, you know. So that's neat. But when people say I draw, like, you know, anthro or furry, I'm like, no, technically I don't. And I think that's just because they don't know the difference in style, which is totally fine. I get that, but... yeah, isn't that weird, Serenity? Like, I like to tell people if they try to pin me as an anthro or furry artist, I'm like, no, I'm an animal artist. They can't argue with that. You know? I think furry and anthro nowadays, anthro, yeah, it just means anthropomorphic animals with human characteristics. Yeah, that's its technical definition, but if you go like in an anime con or anywhere nowadays and you say anthro, it's synonymous with furry. So it's almost like you can't use that. So I like to just say animal art because I feel like my stuff's closer to that. I don't know. But yeah, you and I are in the same boat. Foreshortening, y'all. Foreshortening. Run for the hills. It's gonna get you. Really, Kitchen? Yay! Oh, good. Yeah, he's pretty chill, man. I don't know, I really enjoy chill stuff. Especially nowadays. Like, I used to do sci-fi, dark art and stuff in high school and, you know, early on. And it just, I don't know, it's not where I'm at anymore. Definitely not. There's so much more of me, I think, that's in happy fantasy art that just feels weird to do anything but that anymore. And I know it's stupid. So, like, something in the past year, and I've talked about this on the stream before too, that I feel like because I do such cute, sweet art, I'm looked at differently in the art community I'm a part of. And I believe this. I think regardless of, my skill level and everything, because I've done a ton of different kinds of art. I'm able to do like legitimate, portraiture and stuff like that. It's just I choose not to. So the fact I do like baby art, I feel like really sets me back in the eyes of my peers. They'll see this and they'll be like, oh, that's not like, this type of quality and stuff. And it sucks because, like I said, it's just what I want to do. It's not what I'm capable of, which I feel like are two different things, which can be kind of frustrating, It's like they see that you can do this, but they're like, well, I bet you can't do this, because you do that. And it's like, well, no, I don't want to draw like hyperrealism or anything like that. Like, I hate that the artists on the internet that get popular are the ones doing hyperrealism or fan art and things like that. What drives me even more crazy is I respect Kiri Ostegard Leonard, that artist. I respect her, but she just released a how to get more people on Instagram, how to, succeed in the social media platform, right? Her second point was to do fan art. And I'm so upset that the people that have a platform like that would actually condone that, because I feel like that's an obvious thing. I feel like you didn't have to tell anyone that. And I feel like that shouldn't be an actual how-to point of success. I feel like that's more, it's a cheat code, right? But I feel like if you want to do it hard mode, true to yourself style, you do it without doing that, it just made me feel like we've gone a couple steps back if the people that are popular now are, trying to tell people that. It's like, yeah, if I started drawing like Secret of Nim right now, and Dark Crystal, and if I was just doing that for a bit, I'd probably gain like 5,000 followers or something, right? In like a month or two. I'm sure I could do that. And if I wanted to campaign and do that, I could. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to do that. I feel like someday I'm going to get frustrated and I'm going to do it out of just frustration and curiosity. I could see myself doing it that way, and then just getting follows and stuff and being like, okay, duh, and then just proving myself right. But then it's like, why did I do that? I don't care that much. The only thing I do like about that is it might translate into sales, but if you've ever tried to sell something on Instagram when you have less than 10,000 followers, because you get the swipe up feature after 10,000, if you've ever tried to sell something using a link that obviously isn't a hyperlink, it's just an address that people either have to type in or link to or whatever on your profile, the amount of people that will actually go to it is like zilch. It's basically nothing. So until you get that swipe up feature, it's kind of, it sucks. But, they are. Yeah, Kitchen. That was the cool thing. The 3 that I did were all original characters, so I totally commend them for that. They're gung-ho hard about their role-playing in their original characters, so that is cool. I do appreciate that a lot. Very commendable. But, yeah, I do love Lackadaisy. Yeah, I've been following her since she was on DeviantArt, and that had to be over a decade ago. Like, I was still, I think, at my parents' house when I found her. It was like, when I was growing up, my Deviant artist heroes were Adele Sessler, Stephanie Law, who is still around, I found out, which is crazy to me. Like, And they were all doing Zelda fan art when I found them. That's how I found them. I get it. Yeah, I know. And Tracy Butler. Those three, like, oh my god. They're awesome. I love Tracy's expressions. They knocked me on my ass every time. And I always hoped that she'd end up, like, working for Disney or something, because I felt like she had a golden age aura about her work where, like, she could really bring 2D back. But I don't know if she ever got there. It was so good. Yeah, it was great. Like, she was back. It was like, I remember when she launched her, like, personal website where Lackadaisy was, and, like, I think that's around the time she started to blow up. But she had her DeviantArt, and it was just mind-blowing, because I feel like she was the only one at that caliber of character at the time. Now it's just, like, the internet's nuts with it, but I feel like she was one of the first, man. Hey, Paladin! Paladin, I keep forgetting to ask you. I owe you something, right? Didn't you do a Patreon thing for something or some... I remember it was like $20 or something. For a while, for something. I totally forgot what it was. And I keep meaning to email you, and I keep forgetting, and I'm so sorry. It's very unlike me. My summer's been dumb. Dumb crazy. Please let me know. Oh my god, I'm so glad you showed up. What? No. No. Don't you try this. Don't you try this. You're using my forgetting against me. What was it for? Tell me what it was for. It was like, it was no, I remember. It was for another overlay. Did we not finish the full amount? Is that what happened? Did you have to pull out of it? What happened with it? 'Cause yeah, it was for an overlay, wasn't it? 'Cause I don't want you to just donate that. Come on, Ryan. I don't want you to do that. You deserve something for that. You were paying me. Sleeve is too puffy. It's like too far up. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I was gonna say, yeah, is it okay now? I'm glad you're okay now. Well, you let me know. If you want something for those donations you already made, I can send you like a book or something. I can do that, or if you want to eventually go back to doing that, let me know. I am more than happy for any of that. Whatever you want. Because I don't want you to have just given me that much money for no reason. Especially when we had, like, talked about and agreed on something. Because I remember that, I just couldn't remember details of that. That's good. I'm glad to hear business is good. Freelance life, am I right? Shouldn't be this high. Also, I've started using this gray coal erase because seriously, this is so much better than graphite, and it looks like graphite, but it doesn't smear like graphite, and I am in love with it. It's been working out so well on a lot of stuff, because then I can go over it again with a black Prismacolor once I know where everything is. Oh, it's so good. Good. The dog is good. We got a new dog too. We adopted a cute little sweet pom. Her name is Butters. Not because of South Park. But she is a sweetie. I hear this one's blind, so it's white. It looks really cool. She's our little Odin baby. She's sleeping right next to me, but I don't want to wake her up again. I woke her up twice, I feel bad. But she is wonderful. She is so loving and so chill and sweet, and when she gets excited, her smile just lights you up. Like, oh, she's beautiful. I love her. Yeah! Oh, kitchen! I didn't tell you. Yeah. Let me see if I have another picture too. So that's her with her long hair. Right now she doesn't have that. The foster family actually shaved her down a bit. So here, last night she was, I put her in some blankets. She loves blankets. But yeah, you can see her eye pretty good here. It looks like there's a full moon in one of them. But yeah, we rescued her. And she just lays there while I draw. Like, I love it. She's so sweet. She's sleeping. But she does kind of look like a cat. If you're looking at her from behind right now, because her hair's so short, she looks like a cat. She's very tiny. But, and the little bear boy. Yeah, Charlie. She does! Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. She looks like a harp seal or something. Oh my goodness. You hear that? You're beautiful. Oh, her bed's right next to me and she's sleeping. She's so sweet. She's a little bit older. She's like 6 to 8 years old. And she has been through hell. So Gabe and I are very happy to be able to give her an easy, happy life now. So she doesn't like blueberries though. I tried to give her some blueberries. She doesn't like blueberries. The summer's been going too fast, I'll say. It feels like summer's going too fast. Does anybody else feel that way? Like, I feel like summer is just nuts. I want him to be holding something, I think. Maybe there's a ladybug? Would that be cute? Should I put a ladybug here? Like a sleeping ladybug that's sleeping on his tail? That could be cute. Though I think they eat ladybugs, but that's okay. Aw, Paladin, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it. The wrong pace. Serenity, what do you mean? I'm really looking forward to fall. For many, 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 many reasons. Like, I think I'll be really happy mid-September. I have 50 commissions to do before the end of September, so... And that's just Pet and Armors. I have probably about 5 or 6 normal ones too, and they're not that big. One is, but just trying to work them all into the same situation is rough. It's real rough. Yes! Isn't that weird, Serenity? It's like when you want something to be over, it takes its time, but when you're having fun, you know, that whole thing. It's so weird. Paladin, how's Minnie? Minnie P. No sleep for me. Nope. And I mean, with the dogs and with trying to get a third dog, Gabe and I have just been addicted to chaos, I think, lately. Like, because, I mean, once we figured out that, you know, we're not going anywhere, like, together, right? If we go anywhere, it's to a convention and it's alone, right? Because the other person's staying at home anyway with Bruni. Well, why not add a dog or two to that and save some, you know? Like, get some rescues and help out. So, I mean, that's where we're at right now with our thinking. And I know that's a little nutty, but, I mean, you know, it feels stupid to just be me, him, and Bruni, and to just keep buying useless shit now and then, or toys or something, where we could be helping doggos, you know? I totally agree, Serenity. It feels like June just disappeared, and now it's July. Like, after tomorrow, it's July. Is he really? Oh my god. She likes paintbrushes? What does she do with them? Does she paint her face with them just when they're, like, nothing's on them? Or maybe when something's on them. Goodness. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do these leaves. There we go. That's decent. Oh, before I forget, so, God, who is it? It's, give me a second. Did I spell that right? No, I didn't spell it right. Damn it. Yeah. Yeah. God, I can never spell her name right. Okay. Oh. Aw, Paladin. 8 months. Thank you. I don't have my sub-shrub nearby. But you get 8 wishes. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I appreciate that so much. You don't even know. Oh, bye, kitchen. Cornbread. Oh my god, I love cornbread. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that, Ryan. Seriously. That is super nice of you. Yeah, bye, kitchen. It was great having you. We miss you. Yeah, see, that's the other thing. It's weird in summer. Everyone's gone. Especially on Twitch. We noticed that last summer, too. And then in the winter, it gets crazy again. Paladin, have you noticed that on your Twitch? Have fun though, Kitch. Is that entire... Oh goodness. Is this entire thing their art, like, up on the wall too? First of all, no handwritten anything, so the sticker and... I don't know what motive means. Maybe that's a German thing? All of these white pieces of paper, get rid of them. There's too many words, it's too small, it's ridiculous. I don't know what they say, and if I were there, I would walk right by them, I wouldn't care. Think about having a formula of, like, a title, a price, and maybe, like, a sentence for what it is. And if these are commission rates, they need to break it down way less than this. This is ridiculous. Like, if they're the types doing the headshot, bust shot, long shot, full shot 2 character, full shot 3 character, like, backgrounds, no. You want to give them, like, 2 size differences. If they want grayscale color, and then ask them like the complexity of their piece, right? Like, you want to draw people in with simplicity first, right? So give them just the 2 size options, 2 color options. Then once you get there and you're having the conversation, ask them what their piece would entail, and then you can, adjust the price accordingly. Otherwise, if you write down everything, people will get turned off, like immediately. If they have too many options, people just turn off. Think about a menu you've seen that has like 100 options and you're just like overwhelmed, right? Think about a menu that has maybe, lunch 3 options, dinner 3 options. It's like, oh, that's easy, right? Same thing. Same thing goes for sales. Oh, that's so crazy, Paladin. 10. Mine's usually around 10. I still haven't gotten up. I think it's great your Twitch has exploded, though. It goes to show you that minifigs are a huge deal. The back of the table, first of all, that if that piece is an original piece, they're sitting in front of it, so you can't see it. You should really move it up, or maybe on the table unless you're drawing, but definitely don't ever sit or stand in front of your artwork. And if that piece above it is part of the venue, then I would ask them to take it down for that weekend, because it doesn't look like any of the other work, so I feel like that's part of the venue. Or ask them if you can cover it with a drape or something for the moment. Or, were it me, I'd have like a rigging and a sheet anyway to kind of cover it up. But yeah, this is kind of a mess too, because you've got the front and then you've got the inset. The inset's usually a bad idea. I think that would be much better handled on the other side of the table, and I would get rid of the original art binder. That again is the same problem with too many options. You want people in and out of your table from 30 seconds to a minute if you can help it, especially if it's a big con and there's a lot of traffic. You definitely don't want people hanging around looking through a binder. So just like a portfolio, maybe pick 10 to 20, like your best pieces or something, or get the flip box, okay? If they're all original pieces, do what I do, get a little originals box, have it so they can flip through it. That takes 1/4 of the time it takes to flip through an actual binder, and it takes up about the same amount of space. So what you could do is you could have that sticker thing, also stickers. I just wouldn't do it. Have a pre-made sticker pack. Don't do the thing where they pick out the stickers for the exact same reason you want them 30 seconds to a minute and out of there, right? If you have a little pre-made sticker pack, that's a lot easier for someone to pick up. Have all the stickers that are inside the pack visible on like the back of the pack so they can look at that and be like, oh yeah, I like all those, I'll take this. That's a lot quicker than, I want the seashell and the octopus. No, maybe I don't want the octopus. Hey, which one of these do you want? Because I only want 2 of them and you can get 3 for 15. Like, don't do that. That takes so much time away from you. All right, same with whatever those other things are I can't read below that. It's good that everything is at least chunked together. Like you've got the prints, the stickers, which like I said, just have a little display of them, just pick up and ready to go. And then get rid of all of these white things. I don't even know what they are. And then take that other thing that's inset, because somebody in front of your table can't even see those. And only the people from that other side coming to your table would see them. So why not put that on the other side of the table? Or behind you and higher than you if you're going to be sitting, you know? So you could do that too. Have something behind you, like a rigging. Have the prints, and have them even. So have, half the prints here, half the prints here. And then you could have that really nice original up above your head. So that has a really nice aesthetic to it that's even. There's no OCD weirdness. And then you've got your entire table free for having a little display for the stickers, and if there are buttons, having a button thing. but I would do pre-made things because having stickers and having to choose them and flipping, then there's the time of you having to search for those things. So much time wasted. Just, I wouldn't even do it. Anyway. Yeah, it's kind of a mess. And I don't think many people are going to buy whatever's on the inset because they can't see it. So that's going to probably fail kind of hard. Honestly, the whole wire setup is just don't do it anymore. Don't do it anymore. If anything, I don't mean to pat myself on the back, but really the whole magnet system is really good. It's super dynamic, it's easy, it's modular, it can change with whatever you've got going on, and it's easy to break down and put up. The wire system is a pain in the ass. They're heavy. You have to figure out a way to brace them, which is usually a pain in the ass. That's why she probably did the inset, was to actually make it so the other side could stand up. That's a waste. It's just a waste. So the money you take for the wires, if anything, I would get a rigging, because there's so much more you can do with a rigging setup than the wires. Oh, thanks, Paladin. I wish my own advice helped me. Like I said, I'm still at like 10 to 20 viewers sometimes. I think in the winter it's usually up to 20. But Twitch for us hasn't been good the past year, honestly. However, they came out with that, what is it, the subscriber thing? Like, you can do subscriber only streams now, so your subscribers actually get more perks now, which we really like that idea. But we've yet to figure out how to use it, especially since we don't have many subscribers. So we were thinking about maybe either turning our streams into subscriber-only streams and having a lot more professional tips and stuff, and maybe since I don't do the mentorships anymore, I just change it to doing those. So that could be an option. Maybe we do 2 streams, one that's a free stream that's more like this, without all the advice, and then a subscriber only stream that has advice. I don't know. Yeah, if I were you, I would show your friend this video, Serenity, when we're done. Maybe clip that whole section of her critique that I gave her. But yeah. Yeah, it's definitely an option, but if I don't have many people, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. But I bet your friend's gonna hate me, Serenity. Okay, I think I'm gonna switch to doing the other stuff now. I think I'm gonna put another ladybug or 2 in here. Yeah, if she's stubborn though, maybe don't even bother. I don't know how close you are to this person, but if you're not that close, maybe don't care. I don't know, because it's kind of seems like they don't care by their setup. Because technically my setup almost looks, well, okay, I'll be honest, it doesn't look close to what it is now. But my first setup, you could tell I cared. Like, I had, you know, a lot of printed things and a lot of things that were clear and concise, but it really feels like she's just kind of throwing things together. Super last minute. Like, the fact those sheets are just white blank sheets with just Arial font. Like, she didn't even change the font. That's how much she doesn't care. So, that's bothersome. I feel like telling her this won't matter, honestly. Yeah, maybe don't show her this then. Take notes on what I said and tell her in your way, if you think she'd actually get something out of it. But like I said, if she's the type that just maybe won't do this very long, like if you can't see her doing this in a year, maybe, you know, because for a lot of people that start doing conventions, they find out how much work it actually actually is, and how much like you have to actually put into it and carry around crap and break down and set up. Like, some people don't see those things, so they just see the, oh, this is glamorous, blah blah blah. So maybe she won't even like it. I don't know. So maybe talk to her beforehand, and if she says, nah, I hate this, just don't even bother. Okay. You can tell. You can tell. Yeah, you can tell her, I guess, full effort wasn't put into that. Because, like, I know when I started cons, I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it hard, and I'm going to do it right. So, I did. But you can tell when somebody's just like, I don't know. I mean, I applied. I guess I should go. You know? Hold on. I gotta sharpen this. There we go. Okay. Whew. Nice. Nice. I'm starting to like inking with a pencil more and more these days. I just like how much softer it is than ink. Like, I like inking too, but I just like line art in general. So this really has been doing it for me though lately. I'm happy about it. Well, I'm glad you talked her down, Serenity. Because, yeah, you can't... I usually say, like... I mean, it really depends on how you're displaying your prints, too, how much room you have. But, she, with that small space, if she had any more... No. People literally just kind of tune out or turn off, like, looking at stuff if they see too much of it. Like, that's where those giant fan art print walls are ridiculous, because, like, a lot of the time people just kind of, and they'll avoid it, you know? Yeah, you have to do, unfortunately, a lot of trial and error for dark prints. That's totally true. Even Tim and Key had problems with that when we lived there, like... Because the darker ones, Gabe actually has this great thing where if you eyedrop the darkest part in your print in Photoshop, and if the brightness is less than 34, I think, or negative 34, I forget which it is. I think it's 34. If it's less than 34, it's going to be black and not the color you wanted. So... yeah, that can definitely take the steam out of your images for real. Yeah. You'll have to ask him, you know, if you just want to message him even right now and be like, Ashley told me about the brightness in prints. She said it was 34, but she couldn't remember if it was negative 34. He's in the other room. Unfortunately, I can't talk to him. But yeah, he'll know for sure. And he would not mind answering at all. You know him. But yeah, there is a specific darkness you can, you know, plan for so it's not dark, too dark right away. My problem is actually usually the reds. Getting the right kind of red. Sometimes my reds are too pink. My yellows aren't warm enough. So yeah, reds usually kind of screw me over. That's true. You did your best. You tried. So if they come back and they're like, oh, I have to do this and this, you're like, well, I told you. You dummy. I told you. I mean, especially if you guys are good friends, she must know that you're kind of savvy to people who are doing conventions a lot, right? Like, why would she doubt your advice? I mean, I'm glad she listened to you with the prince at least. That's good. So I guess that means there's hope. But if she comes back though and she doesn't even want to do it again, obviously, you know. Because maybe after tearing down, she'll be like, no. Because honestly, tearing down after you've had a very unsuccessful con is kind of like a walk of shame sometimes. Like, and it really sucks when it's not even your fault. Like, sometimes a con will just suck, and it's not even your fault. And that's why you kind of have to talk to people around you, get the vibe of the show. You know, when you talk to customers, ask them, you know, how were the lines? Was it okay getting in? Like, it requires a little bit of research, you know. I mean, just cons in general kind of force you to come out of your shell. So cons aren't for everybody either. Like, if you're not someone who can kind of break your introvert nature to talk to people, you're gonna have a little bit of a tough struggle. Like, I honestly didn't think I'd be a good salesperson, but I honestly ended up being a good one. I mean, if money's any indication of that, last year I killed it, so it was good. And I'm proud of myself, but I just had no idea. And it's one of those things, like, I wouldn't have known until I tried, which is really crazy to think about. Well, that's good. Ask him how many. Ask her how many of the commissions were fan art. I'm curious. Unless she refuses to do commission fan art. I don't know what her deal is. If she's like us or not. Welcome back, Paladin. Because I would say if like 90% of her commission requests were fan art, those I feel like aren't real commissions. I know that sounds weird, but I feel like the people that sometimes ask for fan art commissions are people that can't usually get someone else to do them, so they just ask any artist to do what they want. Like, oh, I want a mashup of Harley Quinn and the Green Lantern or something. Like, they'll just ask any artist or they'll go up and be like, yeah, your style will work, blah, 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 I want this and this. So, that's good. Hey, Serenity, I love you. Let's hope so, because a lot of people that know it's illegal still take commissions because they know it's a one-off and they can't really get caught doing it, that sort of thing. So we'll see, because like I said, some people go halfway on it, some people go all the way, but I can't get around the fact this mouse feels slutty. I know that's a really strange thing to think and say, but he is a little bit spread eagle. Oh no, Paladin. Just don't let him buy it, because then you're helping him steal. You can explain it to him later, but he can like it. And honestly, that person should just be giving that away for free if they love it so much. But, yep, it's too bad. Just think of all the time that was wasted. And this is probably part of the other reason that I don't get many follows anymore, which I'm fine with. I'd rather stick to my guns. I'm stubborn like that. A lot of my friends have said, yeah, if you just, do a fan art piece or two and you just put it up, it's not like you have to sell it, but, you get a lot more follows out of that. It's like, I don't care. That is not why I'm doing art, I'm doing art because I want to draw a mouse on some wheat. I don't want to draw Harley Quinn. I don't want to do that. Like, no one needs to see my version of that. They don't need to, and if they do, it's just like, oh man, that's cool, and that's it. That's it. It's like, it doesn't change lives or anything. I don't know. Hey, good. There you go. That's the other thing. I hate it when fan art is priced more than original art. Like, my prices for my prints are pretty reasonable, all things considered. Like, a couple of my friends are selling prints for like 40 to 60 bucks each because they're a little bit bigger and they're on nice paper. But a lot of fan art is between 10 and 20 bucks a print, and mine are typically 15 each. But I have thought of each one of my prints, 100% of it, where someone else selling it at the exact same price maybe just thought of a pose or a composition, and that drives me crazy. Like, I thought of this entire being, this entire character. This is just all me. I just can't see why people don't see that. So, like, when they see my prices and they're like, oh, that's too expensive, and I see them holding, like, an aerial or something, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Get out of here. I don't want your business. Oh, I'm sure he is. That's the world right now. Unfortunately, that's what we're being fed, so that's what people consume. You do end up showing him like early age stuff though, right, Paladin? Like maybe he'd dig actual mythology, Like if he likes Thor, be like, hey, you know about real Thor? And he'll be like, what? And you can tell him about that. I don't know. I know if I had kids, comics wouldn't even be there. I would rather them kind of go out and find and explore things on their own if possible, and not, like, be desensitized by media. I mean, the mere fact they're releasing Avengers with 6 extra minutes of... It's just a mishmash of stuff. One thing is a Stan Lee tribute. The other thing is a Spider-Man Homecoming clip, which I think you can actually see on the internet right now. And the other one is Favreau just talking about stuff. Just an extra 6 minutes. And they expect thousands and thousands of people back. That's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. And you know that stuff's probably gonna be on the DVD or Blu-ray when it comes out. Just wait. Don't give them your money. That's good, Paladin. That's good. I figured you'd have some touch in that like that. But yeah, it drives me nuts that people just... I mean, I'm not talking about your son I'm just talking in general. But just that, oh, this thing, oh yeah, this thing's great because everybody else thinks this thing is great. It's like, go find the thing that's great to you, not the thing everybody else is into. And I know that sounds extra hipster, and I absolutely hate that it, like, the idea of thinking in an original mindset has the idea of hipster to it. I think hipster means arrogance with it, though. Where I'm not saying have an arrogance about it, but I am saying do it for your own well-being, to actually seek things out that will matter to you, that are more you than, wearing a Disney t-shirt or something, Like, that drives me crazy. The fact that, okay, you guys are wearing the same shirt or the same character on your shirt. That's cool. You have that in common. Okay. What else? And usually it just ends with that, or if they do become friends, it's like, okay, so you're into pop culture super hard. Cool, what else? And then sometimes it just ends there. Like, that's all some people have. I have some friends who just, like, decorate their home in pop culture, and it's so... I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of gross to me, because I know nothing about them. Like, through what they're showing in their home, I know nothing about them, because everybody seems to have that same, you know, decor. That's cool, Paladin, I like that. That's your opinion, Galactica. It's not for me either, Serenity. It's really not. But I mean, even if, like, their main intention is to beat Avatar, it's not to give people more footage. Because 6 minutes... Why couldn't you even just say 10 minutes? Like, that at least sounds better than 6. But to beat James Cameron, like, if that's your intention and not to give people more footage, you're just being an asshole. I just don't see how people don't see into that. Like, that drives me nuts too. Like, think a little bit more about why they're doing this. Like, and I'll see in, I'm in all these convention Facebook groups because they usually say when, you know, the applications open up. But I have to sift through a bunch of people, you know, talking nerd jargon crap. I swear to God, I've been absolutely made bitter by conventions because nerd culture is just, oh, it's so bad. Anyway, but these groups, it's just, someone will be in there and be like, oh yeah, I know they're just doing it to get numbers and they want more money, but I'm totally just gonna do it again. It's like, why? You know what? Why? That I believe, but I kind of respect James Cameron more than anyone connected to any of the Marvel movies, because James Cameron is actually forward, like, a lot of things in a lot of ways. Like, even sea exploration, and he's a director. Like, he's done a lot, even if he may be an asshole. I don't know if he is or not, but he has done a lot for movies and just society in general, you know? So I have a lot more for that than, you know, superhero movies and whatever. Yeah, I believe that. He probably is. But I mean, so was Steve Jobs, right? Apparently. But he did a lot too. Honestly, I kind of feel like a lot of assholes do a lot of good things. But, yeah, I know they're assholes, but still. Like, I'm kind of an asshole, but I feel like I do good things. Like, it's not so black and white, I feel. You can be an asshole and do good. I think the asshole nature for some people is more that how they go about things, and maybe they're not the best at communicating or carrying out an idea or something, but maybe the end justifies the mean. I don't know, maybe it wouldn't have happened if they weren't so hardcore about it or adamant. I don't know. Who knows? Then again, I don't know him personally either, so I feel like making that sort of assumption about him feels unfair a bit, but I don't know. That I don't get either. I don't know why there needs to be 4 more Avatar movies. I'm very much a fan of one-shot movies, novels, anything, comics. I love a fully contained story with no sequels. It's my favorite thing ever, because that means someone took enough time and effort to actually think of this entire thing and just that one thing, and not think about how they could, you know, keep going with it. I would rather have them think of that one thing, concentrate all their stuff on that, bookend it so it's complete, and then if they want to add something to that universe, make another thing. But make that first thing so it's on its own, you know? Honestly, I feel like he's dragging it out so he can kind of do his research thing, because he's creating a bunch of extra C-camera stuff and whatever, but he's also making the movie with it, so I feel like he's hitting two things at once, which maybe he's doing for money, but maybe he's doing it just because, well, I'm doing this anyway, why not do it? When you say white savior trope, do you just mean like a hero's journey? Because if they're blue people, they're not white people, so they can't be white savior. Does that make sense? Because the white savior trope is just technically kind of like the hero's journey. A white guy saving blue people. I see. But now he's a blue person. So he's a blue person saving blue people. So that's a hero's journey? Right? I don't know why the skin color is important. I mean, to me, it's just a hero's journey story. White, blue, black aside, whatever. It's a hero's journey. Yeah, but so was Pocahontas. No one seemed to care about that. I mean, that one's kind of a classic formula, too. Two sides. I mean, that's Romeo and Juliet, too. So, that's just a classic redone thing. You can't get mad about that. I mean, there are stereotypes for a reason. It's just, if you make it its own thing, I think it's okay. As a storyteller, I'm gonna kind of defend these things, I'm gonna say. But I will agree that it is kind of more of an immature thing to do, to kind of copy a trope that exists. So yeah, he shouldn't have probably done that, because he's beyond that. Like, Terminator was very original compared to Avatar. So that's weird. Like, that he got less original. I think Unobtainium was supposed to be a joke. I mean, with the, like, name of it, I think it was supposed to be a joke. I don't think any self-respecting person would name it that. I mean, can we just talk about that 3D TVs were a waste of everything in general? Like, how many people do you know who own a 3D TV right now that are happy they bought it? I mean, really, I don't know any of the people that bought one that are happy. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. I feel like nothing's really even being catered to those anymore. And that's fair. You okay? What are you doing? You still tired? You don't want to get up? Hmm? You like licking, don't you? Yeah, it is. The whole glasses thing is ridiculous. It's a waste of resources, too, honestly. I'm purposefully on this one making the lines lighter on this back lead, because I want it to kind of fade into the background to further put it, you know, behind the mouse. Which is another nice thing about doing line work in pencil, because I can actually fade it appropriately. Whereas if I did it with ink, it'd be a lot harder. I'd have to do it with line width instead of actual, like, you know, opacity changing. I'm the same, Paladin. A lot of the stuff I need to do, I need to pay attention to. So, like, I can't even watch stuff I haven't seen before because I'll get distracted too easily. So I have to usually watch, if I need to be entertained at all, I need to watch things I've seen a million times. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen Willow at this point. It's like my favorite movie. But I've seen it so much. Yep, that's one of them too for me. It's like Labyrinth, Secret of Nim, Legend, Willow, The Crow, Edward Scissorhands I don't need to watch anymore because when I was younger, I learned the entire script. I could recite Edward Scissorhands too. Neverending Story. I have this whole section in a binder of just movies that I just go to. I actually started rebuying them because I don't want to actually go in my binder. I know that's ridiculous too. Aww. Look at my pudgy baby. Look at this one. Look at that poorly Tuft. She looks almost cross-eyed. Oh my god, she is a sphere. Look at this. If I put a quarter on top of this, oh my goodness. She's gotten so big lately. I love my baby. She's so round. I know, oh my god. Oh, and then, here. Since we were there, let's see. So, there's a picture of me, Gabe, and Butters when we got Butters. So there's Butters with her one eye white and such. They took a picture of us. It was really cute. Ooh. I don't like how my face looks, though. Like, of course I look fat like that. I'm going like this. Like, what the crap? That's a bad angle, man. Our happy little pudgy dog family. Oh, that's so cute. I love my dogs. Unprofessionally taken photos, too. I mean, I looked bad in even my wedding photos when I had those taken. Like, oof. I just always forget what you're supposed to do and like what angle you're supposed to, like, you know, turn to make it look good. I always forget. So it's like I'm always doing Aw, thanks, Paladin. I don't know, Gabe's always handsome. It's not even fair. Isn't that weird though, Galactica? Like, it blew up for a bit, and then now it's like no one's making them at all. And I'm sure everyone that bought the 3D TV regrets it. Do you guys have one person in your life who always is like buying those type of kitschy things that you know it's not gonna last, but they bought it anyway because they wanted to say at that time they had it? Do you know people like that? Like, I make it a point to always wait to buy everything, if even for, like, software update reasons and hot fixes. Because things, you know, they don't always ship well. I learned that when I worked in games. That was one of the main things I learned. And so now I just wait on everything. Ends up being better. But it's like, I knew someone that always would get the new phone when it came out and would trade in their own old phone. It's like, I will run my phone into the ground before I get a new phone. You know? Like, And, well, I guess those are the same people that usually lease cars because they want variety or something. What's OTL? What does that mean? There you go, Galactic. I see you get it. You're with me. We can agree on that. It's just, it's just worthless, I guess, to do it the other way. It's like you're trying too hard to prove yourself if you gotta have the latest cutting edge technology. Oh, hold on. Pencil sharpener. Oh, really? Oh. So it's like, oh, so you're on the ground, like, disappointed? Is that what that pose is? Oh my god, I have never seen that before. What does that mean? If I haven't seen that before. Oh my god, that's crazy! Really? I would like it more with a lowercase o. Like, if you do a lowercase o, it looks a lot better, like, oh my god, you know? The big O makes it look like an abbreviation. But I never knew that, that's crazy. So it's like the person flipping a table, it's ASCII. That's nuts. Oh my god, I feel like an idiot. Oh my god, you guys. I feel dumb. I wish I remembered to do this when Kitchen was here. I got distracted. Okay, so, this person on Instagram, I don't know why that has a 4 in it. Just go to regular Instagram. Anyway, she's doing a 30 flowers challenge. The hashtag is this for July. I'm totally gonna do it because I want something easy for July. And I want an excuse to draw flowers. So she has a list. Let me see if I can find it. I love her art too. She's amazing. I kind of want to be able to easily watercolor as simply as she does. Because there is such an art to simplicity when it comes to watercolor. So her 30-day flower challenge. Damn it, I thought she did a post. Oh, she's got an Insta story. Damn it. Okay, well, it's this one. If you can actually sign in for that, but... Yeah! Weird! Ah, Serenity, that's weird. But anyway, if anybody wants to do this with me, I think that'd be cool. I've talked to her, she's really nice. But I just wanted, after Journey June, I kind of wanted an easy thing, so this will be a nice, I think, break from that. Get out of here, man. That'd be cute, Paladin. I think you could do that. You might have trouble finding some of those flowers in your area, though. I don't know if you have them all. That'd be awesome if you did. I'd be super jealous. What do you mean, Serenity? Like just a picture of their stuff or their hand in there and looking good? Butters has nightmares sometimes and she'll start whimpering in her sleep. Really sad. Poor thing. Oh Jesus, I've never had one of those taken of me. I assume it at least takes a half an hour to an hour to stage it right. And then she probably has either a tripod or like where is it? Gabe and I have these like adjustable arms you can put your phone on and have them at an angle sort of thing like this. But hey, at least she didn't Photoshop out all her split ends at the top, her flyaways and stuff. Oh, she's pretty. She has a good profile. And a nice little nose. I'm always jealous of people with tiny noses because I have a big nose. Look at this thing. It's like a ping pong ball got glued on. Yeah, she totally rocked it. I bet a lot of it is processing, but it's nice. Now I kind of want to do one of those, though. I've never done one of those. Oh, Paladin, no. No, you don't. I think you look like a fine gentleman when you're doing it. It reminds me of, like, old school artisans, because you got your beard and stuff. I think there's more romance to it than you give it credit for. But speaking of Shrek, weird thing, I found out there's a ShrekCon. If you look it up, it's kind of interesting. I give them credit for being very creative with a lot of the things that happen there. So they have like onion eating contests and things like that, which is cute. I mean, that's neat. And these people all love Shrek a lot. I mean, to each their own, that whole thing. But they like really love it, which makes me think, I think it's similar culture to bronies. Kind of how bronies get like that sense of community and stuff, and they love the innocence of, you know, friendship is magic and things like that. I think the same thing goes for ShrekCon, is how, after I watched the thing, I figured that's probably what it's mainly about, is that common interest, and that just with the whole idea of it. I had no idea. None. There you go. Yeah, look it up. Maybe they've got one. Serenity, I would love to see that photo. I think artists aren't honest enough with how they draw. I probably have this... Actually, you guys would tell me what kind of a face I have when I'm drawing, but I think I always look mad. I think I have a resting furious face. I don't know. Honestly, or it's apathy. Maybe I have an apathetic face. And sometimes angry. Good. Yeah, because it's painful to shit out drawings. Saying. If you look calm while you're doing a drawing, you're not giving it 100%. Right? You gotta get mad a bit. Because you're forcing it out of there. That's what I say. Really? Was it cool? Oh, I suppose. You know, I feel like that's for people with kids. You know? So maybe that makes more sense that you'd like Shrek, because you probably... No offense, but you probably had to like Shrek, right? To get through the day? I'm guessing maybe that was one of those ones that was on all the time at your house? Kids want to watch it for the 20th time in that week? Yeah? Am I right? I wouldn't say I've got a temper or anything, but I might be an angry person. I get tired of people's stupidity a lot and their inconsideration. So maybe my face is, I don't know, pushing that out randomly. Which is fine. That's how I think of things. There we go. Yeah, I think I used to do that. You watched it before the kids? Oh, Paladin. That's fine though, that's cute. I think that's cute. You do you, boo-boo. I mean, it's an endearing movie. I'll give you that. I mean, the idea is solid. You know, an ogre with a donkey as a friend. I get it. That makes sense. That's at least on theme, you know, I can appreciate that. I don't know about all the sequels. I think I saw one of the sequels. And I was like, yeah, okay. I don't know. It happened. Yeah. A magical face, huh? Oh, wonderful face. Thank you. I mean, huh. I appreciate that. Thank you. I think I have a nice smile and good eyes. Sometimes my face shape changes depending on how much weight I'm carrying, but that happens, especially in your 30s. Which I'm okay with. I actually had a friend who drew me when I was looking better. Honestly, I was like 30 pounds lighter, and she drew me, and she drew in, I've got these I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, they're kind of like these little, they're puffy, like where my lips come out, but they're on either side and there's like this shadow. And she drew me and she put hard lines of those in. And I was like, oh wow, you really saw those, huh? And she's like, well, you've got lady jowls, you're getting older. And I was like, okay, you don't know how to draw people at all, because usually you're supposed to omit lines in the face. If you want someone to look good and not scary, think about simplicity. If you want someone to look scary and old, you add in as many lines as possible. She put them in, and that was one of the times I was like off-guarded, offended, which I haven't been before. It's like, these aren't even that noticeable. I'll even say that. They're not that noticeable. But she like zeroed in on them. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I didn't get self-conscious about it, but I was like, why? As another artist, why would you do that? Especially a caricature artist. Like, I was a caricature artist at Mall of America. And that's one of the first things you learn is don't put in lines unless they're over 70, you know, because to make them look actually elderly. I was just like, oh my God. Yeah, they really do. I mean, if you put these in at all, you just shade them in. You never put a line in, you know? Yeah, you usually have to flatter. It's more like camera. You know how they say camera adds 10 pounds? You can either take the footage and squeeze it a bit to kind of get rid of that. You can do that with pictures too. And you do it just a small amount to where it doesn't look weird, and it works. But it's all about lighting, right? So you light them differently. Like if I'm lit, obviously from below more, so you can see a lot of things you didn't see before. But if I'm just kind of round lit, you know, evenly, God, you can see this like crazy, but you know what I mean. So the same thing for art, you know, you cater to their good things and hide the bad things. She's still doing it that way too. Like she puts in, like when she draws hands, it's insane. Like if it's a lady hand, it still looks like a man hand. Like she goes crazy. You could say it's your style, but man, it's kind of unattractive. I don't know. Okay. I'll probably be done soon, guys. How we doing? I might actually sell this one. This is a lot better quality than I was thinking it would be. So I think I will sell it, but I am gonna color it first. I guess I could color it real quick. Real quick, right? Take a picture so I have it in progress of the lines. Okay. Let's see. I need my markers. It's okay, honey. Don't be scared. It's okay. I'm just above you. That's a good point too, Serenity. Yeah. She doesn't know how to dial the masculine and feminine. And actually, I remember, I think it was even Gabe who had told her one of her drawings looked feminine in some areas, and she blew up at him. So, might just be one of those people. Yeah, she also couldn't take critique either. It's like, well, I mean, if she was shooting for non-feminine, and it ended up looking a little feminine. How do you say that without using the term feminine? You know, like, it's an art term, you know? Like, I get that with all the gender hype and stuff lately. It makes sense that people would be upset about it, but it is ultimately an art term too, you know? And that is looking a lot less saturated than it should. Hold on, see if I can fix it. That's a little bit more accurate, I guess. I know, but somehow it just happened. I mean, I think, I'm gonna be honest, I think that's a phase in especially female artists, that we go through a phase of having very feminine looking male characters. And then only kind of if we keep at it, they kind of evolve once we get a little older. Because I think, I feel like even with like emo bands and stuff, like we go through that phase of liking the skinny boy, you know? And I think everybody kind of goes through that phase. And I don't know what it is, and I don't know why we all seem to kind of have that phase, but it seems to be a thing. Oh, really? Well, I wonder if it's... Did she get into... I know this is weird, but did she get into any anime or bands between those two times? Because I feel like, especially as an artist, your style's going to change with what you kind of feed it. You know? Like, with what you're into and what your influences are outside of art, I feel like you're going to kind of reflect that in your work. Hi, Mai! That's fine. Thanks for dropping in. How are you? If you can't answer and you need to go, that's fine too. But thanks for coming in. Man. Killing it on Journey June, homie. I'm proud of you. Super proud of you. We're good. We got a dog. We got a dog. Taking a step back with anatomy to improve something else. That seems strange. Like, I feel like that's a really weird thing to say. Taking a step back from anatomy. Like, I can't imagine saying, I'm taking a step back from blah 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 to improve this. Like, how do you take a step back after you've gotten experience? You know? It's like you know it, how can you unknow it now? That seems strange. The more I think about that, the more confused I get. Surviving? Hey, that's what it's about. As long as you're surviving, you're doing it right. Good job. Keep at it. This mouse is a fat, like, lazy dude. It's like my other fat, lazy mouse, man. Why are my mice fat and lazy? Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Butters, it's okay, sweetie. It's okay. Oh, God, the poor thing still has nightmares. Poor rescue dogs. Her name is Butters, and it's not because of South Park. She is butter-colored. It does make sense, but, well... okay, so wait. No, I do get that. I do get that, because... I think she just said it weird. So she doesn't care as much anymore about anatomy, but she wants to care more about color. The taking a step back thing was the confusing part. So she does care about coloring, just not anatomy, which is like me, where I can do people and stuff, it's just I don't care to. I don't want to. So she doesn't want to do anatomy, really, and she wants to do more color. I get it. I get it. Okay. When you put it that way, yeah. That's true too. Fat mice are happy mice. Yeah, Mai! Oh, I'm excited! That's great! Yeah, she came with Butters. Apparently her foster family gave it to her after she's been through really bad stuff. So, when they gave her to a foster and she had all the surgeries she needed to get better, they gave her a new name kind of as Rebirth. So they gave her Butters, and Gabe and I actually thought, and this was cute because Gabe actually thought of this, but he was like, she's the butter to our roll, and the roll being like Bruni having all her rolls because we call her the bakery because she's got so many rolls. And after Gabe had said that, I was like, oh my god, this is destiny, And what was really weird was we got denied like twice because the lady running the adoption on the side that I was talking to was a biatch. But then I asked to talk to someone else and everything worked out fine. So it's good. It's good now. And we're also working on getting another one, and then that's it. So 2 rescues, and we're good to go. But she is a sweetheart. She's very, very sweet. I do this a lot. This is actually one of my new sins. I will draw something and not finish it or look at where it goes. I don't know why I do that lately. It's a really bad habit that I'm trying to break, but sometimes it's difficult to break it. I don't know. I'm just gonna do this. Oh, shit, tangent. And I can't avoid it either. Damn it. Damn you. Okay. That's weird, Serenity. I mean, maybe it's good if she's producing a lot, but if she's not open to critique or improving, that kind of sucks. Right, Mai? Oh my god. And I'm so glad you're enjoying Journey June, homie. Like, seriously. Are you surprised? Did you think you'd like it? Or did you just want to kind of experience it and be like, yeah, I did it. That's cool. God, I need to wake her up soon, because last night she slept till like 9 p.m. and then this morning she was up at 7, which is like 2 hours before we get up. So we go to bed at like midnight or 1. So, I mean, she's probably still on her old schedule, but damn. Granted, she hasn't napped today, so maybe this is just her nap. Plus, Gabe and I figured it'd be easy to take care of Poms because they're so tiny. It's so funny, though, to go from having a bulldog to taking care of the Pom, because Pomeranians eat like nothing. Bruni has 3 cups of food a day. Right? Butters has maybe a half cup a day. total. Like, it's ridiculous. Hilarious. Isn't that fun? Oh, I love that you're getting to experience that. I'm curious, like I half want to ask everybody doing it if they've experienced that yet, but I also don't want to ask. Some of the questions I feel like I've asked the Journey June folk I shouldn't have probably, but that one I'm really curious about, because that's what I hope for when everybody does it, because that's, I feel like, when you've made characters you understand, and they're starting to write it themselves, and that's so exciting. Like, that's the reason I keep doing this, because it feels so cool. I don't know, I have a feeling that's kind of why people have kids. I know that's a very strange, I guess, metaphor or analogy? Analogy. It's a very strange analogy, but I also feel like it's appropriate. Because, like I said, it's like they're your kids, and you have hopes and dreams for them and this idea of what their life will be like, but then they totally do something else, or they become something other than what you wanted, but you love them anyway. That whole thing. Like, I feel like it's so similar to that. It's weird doing it a second year in a row, though. Like, because, like, Journey June itself, like, I don't always write Hero's Journey style stories. So when Journey June comes around and I kind of have to fit into that, it's always weird for me because, like, I like it, but at the same time I feel like it's always the same story. Like, maybe if you do it next year, you'll kind of get what I'm saying, but it's interesting, you know? But next year I think we're going to mix some stuff up. There's a couple things we thought of that we'd like to change, and a couple things we wanted to add. Because the one thing that you don't really get much of during Journey June is the villain's point of view. Like, because a lot of Hero's Journey stories will sometimes bounce back and forth from, you know, what the villain's doing to what the hero's doing. And unless you do that on your own in the story, which some people do, but not a lot even think of going there. So it plays out more like, I guess, an RPG would, which is fine. But I feel like, you know, to be more dynamic, it'd be like level 2 Hero's Journey. You know, you start working in the villain in some parts. So if you did it the previous year, you can do this version as kind of hard mode or something to kind of balance the story more. Because that's one thing Gabe and I have to go back and do from our stories that we realize we're like, well, we need to put in back and forth to the villain. And once we thought of that, we were like, well, other people probably do too. Need to add those as well. So we were like, well, maybe we should just kind of work that into the, you know, the formula. So next year we're going to try to do that. I don't know how well it's going to work out, and we might just scrap it and keep it simple. But I don't know. It was an idea. God, this doesn't look at all like it does in person. Does this look any different up here? A little bit. Weird. Okay, sharpening pencil. That's so good, Maya. I'm so happy about that. You're welcome. Thank you for trying it, you know, going outside your comfort zone and stuff. I'm glad it helped in one way or another. You know, we like that people take that risk, you know. And even if they do a couple days of it, maybe they realize something. A Villain's Journey June. So we thought about doing that, and we realized that would just be the hero's journey anyway. So we were like, well, they could just do a villain hero's journey, which, I mean, Gabe's no spoilers, but Gabe's kind of is. Anyway, maybe you'll see that tonight or tomorrow. Damn it, I probably spoiled it. Anyway, but you could just take a villain through Journey June anyway. It's the same thing. It's honestly the same thing. So, but the thing we wanted was, like, you know, you have your travelers doing this thing, but then you have your villain, and you want them to be more than just two-dimensional, so you want to show their side of things. And maybe they're, you know, maybe one of the days is, you know, maybe you show the villain and they're having turmoil of their own. What does it look like? How do they handle it? You know, are they the type to explode over spilled milk? Or are they calm, cool, and collected? Or, you know, just to give more insight into the villain instead of just seeing them the last week of the journey. You know? Because, like, I feel like mine, you see it, you don't even know that the villain from last year isn't the villain, but is also not even visible in half the story at all. And then this year, you literally didn't see the main villain until, like, yesterday or the day before. So, kind of wanted to change that. Yeah, Gabe's killing it this year. He's having a lot of fun, too. Like, the fact he gets to make it very him, I think helps. Last year, his story was good, but I feel like his art was really on point last year. Like, it was really good. And he did end up finishing that story afterwards. He just hasn't gotten to make it, much like me. But this year, he's actually having a lot of fun with it. He's pulling back on style and the actual quality of the art for more just having fun. And I think that's really coming through, especially with the language and stuff. It's very him, and I'm very proud that he's expressing, you know. Okay, actually, I might stop. I'm getting really hungry. You too, Mai! I look forward to seeing how your story ends. I'm so glad you got something out of it. Butter in the rolls for me? I will. Oh man, that's a good name. If they have a band. Have fun at your party. Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna go. So Gabe will be on Wednesday. Next week. So there's that. Any questions on anything? Probably not. Thought I'd ask. Butters, you gonna get up soon? Huh? Oh yeah, you portly. You got so fat from your foster family. Gabe will be on Wednesday. Journey June class stuff. I'll probably send out the surveys. What is today? Saturday, Sunday. I want to give people a week to finalize their stories. So maybe the second week of July, I'll send out surveys, or I'll put them up on the Journey June account. You know, I'll just start it probably this week, actually. Yeah. Maybe go a week long. Yeah, and then the weekend after that. Yeah, okay. And Gabe's going to be leading that class again. I think last year I was able to be in there, but with the dogs, I think I'm going to be on dog duty. So he'll be leading that. But we'll send out surveys for that. Hey, Tech, how you doing? Yeah, I was just gonna end the stream. Damn it. Well, we did this mouse. I'm glad you got to pop in and say hi anyway. How you been? That'd be awesome. Yeah, it's just Fridays. Typically Fridays. I forgot today is Saturday. My times are 4 p.m. Central on Fridays. I had to reschedule till today, and I totally forgot. So, yeah. I'm gonna go and deal with the dogs. Hey, there you go. Art supplies. Life's good. I'm glad to hear that. Life is good. And I hope if anybody in here isn't having a good life, that it turns around for you. I highly believe it will if you hang in there. So, heck yeah, Sharpie pens. You're welcome, Serenity. Thanks for sticking around and talking so much. I love talking to you. You're great. What else? I think that's it. Okay, so see you at Gabe's stream, or at my stream next Friday. Oh, that makes sense. Alright, guys. Have a great weekend, alright? Have a great Sunday. Have a great week. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it.